Boom. Make it good. Make it fucking good. Get the fuck out of my face, bitch.
You just call me a bitch.
I called you a BT.
Ring, 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 ring. Hello, Sims and also virgins, and welcome back to Krown's magical perhaps and Kate. You're rude.
Rude? No, I am all in nothing but love today. It is a glorious day, by the way. A happy and healthy Friday to everyone out there in cryptocurrency land, of course, and we got plenty to talk about today, as Bitcoin's been mostly boring this week, but has been setting in some very, 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 very important things in the last few, in really the last like 48 hours after Bitcoin did test the $6,000 territory a couple days ago, and now once again the $61,000 territory on CME from yesterday. So with that in mind, we have plenty to prepare for, and I suppose today might even be the day, as we do have some economic data coming out a little bit later, and I suspect that Bitcoin probably will play alongside of it. And holy fucking moly, we almost got 300 likes on this video. This is good. This is very nice. I feel validated. This is excellent. It's a great way to kind of treat your ego, and in a more sincere tone, I want to say thank you, of course, as well. Anyways, yes. So what do we have coming out today that is relevant, that could be pushing this market in one direction or the other? Well, of course, we got our NFPs, right? Something like that. Anyways, markets do like to play around with these, of course, and I expect that Bitcoin will be no different. So keep an eye out for that. About, I think, 30 minutes it usually comes out before US market opens, so that's going to be around 9 a.m. Eastern time, somewhere around there. Sometimes a little bit earlier than that, sometimes a little bit later than that, but usually around that time. And I expect that around US market open, we're going to see an actual resolution of this range, very, very likely, as all metrics do point towards, well, a big and fucking volatile move coming up relatively soon. In fact, I was postulating more or less the last couple of days, and now we're all the way here at Friday, and we're still in the $62,500 range. But there is plenty to be excited about, I do expect, for traders, although not necessarily on the other side for, well, we'll get into that. I won't spoil the surprise for right now. Anyways, what do we see on the Krown chain application, of course, which can be found for free at app.krown.net in the link in the description below. Oh, by the way, Caretaker has a fucking phenomenally massive surprise for everyone out there. Very excited about that. Bitcoin dominance at 43%. So we actually did take another 0.5% leg back. So it's very interesting here. As long as Bitcoin is going sideways, it is going to be very, very good for altcoins. But this is, again, the exact area that I'd be looking for if Bitcoin really is going to take this next major leg up that I still think is actually rather likely. Then we kind of, or at least I'm kind of looking at the Bitcoin dominance at, its major low before the next major push up over the next few months here. Anyways, Fear and Greed Index is currently at a 73, so we did take about 3-point leg back from yesterday to today. And the market, again, just, not really getting too overly excited, whilst also being pretty much at all-time highs, which is, at least in the way that I look at things, overall good. As far as the top 10 best coins go, we got Phoenix Global, which somehow went 42%. What the fuck is this thing, man? That just rugged in the opposite direction. Don't need a word for that. I think it's called Moon. What the actual hell? I'm guessing that this is either a bad read or this is just some inanimate, just deep in the fucking shitcoin drawer, shitcoin, and someone bought one share or one coin and it boosted the price up from fucking 0.0000001 to just one little decimal place higher. Anyways, Cadena, OMG Network, Crypto Coin, or Crypto.com, I should say, eCash, Rwave. I've never even seen eCash, although it has been here plenty of times now. Rweave, Phantom, Engine Coin, Audius, and Terra all on the winning list today, and I expect that yesterday was actually a pretty damn good day for many of the setups that we were looking at. And into the market data tab we go over here. So now I want to start to relate a lot of the underlying market dynamics with what we're going to be speaking about on price action, as I do really start to look at this as the next sort of verification that this next move is more likely to be a short squeeze or a bear trap, or I mean, it's not really a bear trap because we're just been in an uptrend the whole fucking way. Rather than a long squeeze or a bull trap in this case. Bull trap actually would apply. But again, the leverage ratio is absolutely astronomically high. This is the highest that we've ever seen it, actually ever now, I believe. Even higher than 1 year ago. Yep. Nope, sorry. Actually, just a little bit lower than what we saw just about 1 year ago, almost to the day, in fact, too, which is rather interesting. Open interest is pretty much at the all-time highs from our historical analysis right there. And then the funding rates are actually below 0.02% by a smidgen right there. So again, you're not really paying all that much money to be hodling your longs. And realistically, I just don't see this as a concerning thing for the long term specifically, not for short term, obviously, but for long term, I don't really be looking at good fucking English, Krown, really, really good. I'm in America. American, of course, so I don't even know my own language. Anyways, more importantly with that, I don't look at this as concerning until it's consistently for, multiple days on end above 0.1%, of which we're, about 5x away from even that threshold. So I do look at that as not too relevant for right now, and more on the BLOK side. I think this starts to deepen as far as the interpretation of this is likely a short squeeze rather than a bull trap in this case. When we go over here to the fourth data tab, of which hash rate is once again around all-time highs, and the whale ratio representing essentially the potential selling pressure on price action is actually downtrending right here and taking a major leg down over the past couple days. Now let's match this up, of course, with the flow analysis. As always, it's incomplete without that. And what do we see over here on the hourly? Now we are consistently seeing this with both Coinbase and Finex spot being buyers, and if we do look at the perps over here, we actually are seeing a lessening of the of the net market sell. Or actually, no, that was on the daily. So yes, we are still major net market sell on essentially leverage positions right there. So these leverage positions over the past day here, whilst range was essentially, if you just took the median of it, it's basically like $62,000, are more underwater than not, and this is shaping up to be a little bit more of a bear trap, or sorry, it's still not a bear trap. It's a short squeeze is what it would be than a bull trap in this case. As again, I really look at Coinbase and Finex to kind of set the tone here, as those exchanges just seem to get things right more often than not. Not always perfect, but I do put a lot of weight on that actually. And if we go over here to the daily, you will notice that it's actually still going to be negative on Finex, but more importantly, the perps over here still massive negative numbers. So again, shorts are being more aggressive. They are marketing their positions in comparison to longs a lot more. And that does mean that, well, within the current context of the price action, as long as we're above $62,000 especially, that does put a lot of people underwater, I do expect, who are looking for the big bad meltdown. So, of course, at the end of the day, while this is all relevant and does kind of help out the overall bias, and we've seen this kind of evolve over the last 5 days now especially, and even going back to like the last week and a half now too, or a little bit more than that, I suppose, like the last 2 weeks, it has been kind of evolving, but of course, it needs to be matched up with price action. Where does this start to put ranges in as of right now? Well, as we can reference the video's title yet again, what's happened in the last 24 hours? Bitcoin had a chance to break down yet again, but what happens? We had another higher low. So we have 1, 2, 3, count them, higher lows coming off of the last $58,000 test, coming off the last $60,000 test, and now it's going to be about $61,000 right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually, while that's relevant for the short-term timeframes, we can actually just put that right there. And I'd even go as far as saying that as long as Bitcoin's above this level, I'm still kind of leaning certainly more on the BLOK-ish side. Now, as I bring up my indicator tab over here, there's no getting around it now. I have to make the announcement. Caretaker has done something glorious for all of the hodlers of the Caretaker's RSI version 5 and made an update to it, a major update, by the way, which has an info box now, which can show you all sorts of user-defined data on the indicator itself. And then, of course, you can actually forecast price action as well with it. So pretty damn cool right there. And oh my god, and I forgot even the most interesting part of it. He actually even added another version of the RSI in there too. So you can now choose between the regular one, which is Wilder's, and the Cutler's version of RSI, both of which have their own sort of strengths and weaknesses, although I still do favor Wilder's over Cutler's, but there certainly are times to be using Cutler's over Wilder's in certain aspects. And in certain phases of the market. Anyways, other than that, if you already had a version 5, you're going to get version 6 for free, and then we're probably going to change the price for version 6 today, I suspect. So just keep an eye out for that if you are interested in it, or you can also just learn how to read divergences yourself. But now with actually this over here, this actually does add a lot more value in my opinion. That's actually going to help out a lot going onwards and forwards, at least for myself, kind of looking at more interesting areas and more theoretical ideas, especially for like long-term analysis, of which I think I'm going to put out a really big one this weekend. So I'm actually rather excited about that. Anyways, as far as the ranges go, I mean, it's still the same shit here, except for the very short-term timeframes, of which I did get that one wrong yesterday because I was looking for a bit of a drop lower. I mean, we did get almost down to $6,000 territory yesterday on the break of 62 and some odd change, but at the end of the day, short-term timeframes are not really, at least what I'm looking at right now. I'm looking at the medium-term timeframe range and obviously the macro as well, both of which are still bullish as long as Bitcoin is especially above 61, and I'd even go as far as saying as $58,000 in this case for the very long term on the macro scale. Anyways, with that in mind, What do we see as far as momentum oscillators go? We do see that 4-hour Jules actually lost its downside curvature right here. I'll just point to that right there. And within the context of this being a higher low, I really do like that as a signal. And also, I believe, yeah, we actually should have some hidden bullish evidence come off this last low on 4-hour RSI. Maybe it's on CME, not spot. Let's see. Yep, it's on CME, not spot. So we'll just default to this chart right here. And it's a little more obvious right here as well, obviously. Yeah, there you go. With volatility on the ground in the short-term time frames like a 4-hour, I mean, I do believe that this move outside of the range could very easily come today. In fact, I've been saying that the last couple days here, so I would still be beholden to that. I think at latest we see it early next week. Of course, volatility is direction neutral, but at the end of the day, that's why we do have the ranges right here. And any sort of a 4-hour closure above 63,800 or 63, even like 63,700 probably does it for me. I'm looking for basically sideways and up around prior all-time highs. In fact, I still think that that's the most likely thing to be happening right here. Again, we got momentum, we got trend, as this is your next higher low, and obviously this was a higher high over here. So yeah, we do have a bit of an uptrend on the 4-hour as well, and volatility is just looking for expansion. So as soon as we get that, that would be kind of like foot on the gas pedal, at least in my opinion. And yes, I would be looking for sideways and up back around prior all-time highs and probably beyond after that. Remember, all higher term time frames still looking more or less good, at least in my opinion. And let's go check out what the other medium and medium time frames say on this one. Yeah, 12 hours actually showing BBWP on the floor right here. So again, last time that we saw something like this was like literally the same read was actually April, which actually did lead towards a major downside move in Bitcoin. Just so you know, again, it is direction neutral after all. And in fact, most of these low reads on volatility actually have been resolved to the downside recently, except for the very, very last one right here that we did see a nice move up from about 57.4 all the way to our current all-time high about 67, which is actually a 20% move. So it doesn't look like much on a logarithmic scale right there, but pretty damn good. And by the way, what's also relevant about this is that we do have hidden bullish evidence going to be populated on 12-hour RSI right here with any sort of a closure. Yeah, basically here or higher, basically above the last 12-hour high, which is 62,765 if that happens. So again, I do like the setup overall, but it needs to be proven in the next 3 hours, 47 minutes, and 56 seconds. If that does happen, I'm looking at that as really, 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 really good heading into the weekend. And then, of course, because it is a weekend, we have both the weekly and actually bi-weekly closure coming into today. These have me a little bit more on edge, to be quite honest with you, mostly because looking at the bi-weekly right here, kind of closing in this area would be problematic from a price action trading perspective, which I do respect. And I do understand that price action traders are going to be looking at this as kind of a bearish close if we do close within this region right here. So bulls kind of on the clock, in my opinion, coming into end of the weekly and bi-weekly today. Again, if we go over here to our secondary charts and look at our Bollinger Bands and whatnot, it's still very, very difficult to hate this, in my opinion. Again, the bi-monthly kind of sets in the tone for myself, especially on spot price action right here, both of which spot and CME to close above the top side Trollender band. And we do have, not just new all-time high closing prices, but this has an interpretation alongside it as well, because it's continuation, as we just set in a higher low right here. And if you already closed on new highs, then the next one must be a higher high. So that would be continuation of trend, obviously. And volatility expansion is implied by closing above the top side Trollender band. So you got trend, volatility, and then obviously, as we did identify, I think over here on the monthly as well, we did see momentum on monthly Stokes turn up in the bullish control zone. Again, a little bit more obvious on spot price action. And we do see that anytime it's closed above this region in spot price action, those have been all of these vertical lines right here, of which you can visualize it yourself. It's pretty nice, I guess. Not bad, maybe. Not bad indeed. So overall, I am looking at this as more good than bad, certainly. And again, where would I change my opinion on this one? Well, if you are playing the trend, which is essentially what I'm basing this whole analysis off of, that would be $61,000 on a 4-hour closure in this case. Although, again, the lower term timeframes have been a lot more floaty and flighty. I don't know how much I trust them myself. Just because there's been a lot of ebbs and flows right there, and they're very, very tight right now. If you want to go by the book, or if you want to be a little bit more conservative, then it's actually more like 58,000 or 58,500, more accurately said, on CME, and 58,000 even on spot price action. Actually, about 58,000 even on spot price action. That would be very, very concerning if Bitcoin did take out those levels to the downside, and would initiate targets down at minimum 55,500 or so. Very likely a bounce there. And personally speaking, if that were to happen, I would be looking at that bounce is very likely to put in a lower high and work its way down towards $50,000, give or take about $1,000 from that target. Still very much possible here. I am leaning, however, towards the upside just based off of trend, volatility, and momentum in this case. Just need to see resolution sooner rather than later, in fact. as we do draw closer and closer to a precipice of this whole formation going on right here. Again, even on spot price action, BBWP hit 2 spot 38 percentile on the daily just a few days ago, and we are kind of seeing a little bit of expansion off that. But realistically, I need to see this get above the moving average in that with a positive slope. That's going to represent the next very likely macro move, as this has been winding up for the past how long has this been now? About 3 weeks. Yeah, about 3 weeks it looks like, ever since we hit all-time highs. So a 3-week long consolidation for Bitcoin, not like a humongously major one, but whilst putting in a higher low right here, I mean, that would imply obviously price discovery in this case, because we're already pretty much at all-time highs. So we should actually look at relevant targets on a breakout to the upside of the of the top side range in this case, as we already discussed. Bottom side targets, we break out there, but I'm basically looking between about 76 and 85,000 bucks for the next move over the next few weeks, if that were to happen, like week to 3 weeks. It's always shorter than what I think too, so I don't really put too much weight on that. And then probably finding a major high somewhere around the upper 90s to low $100,000 territory if that were to happen. Again, it's just very difficult for me to hate this bi-monthly chart right here, and also the monthly as well. So I do put a lot of weight on that, obviously, and all higher term time frames still are in an uptrend and still more or less bullish. So with all of that in mind, I think it's time for me to perhaps get onto the comments. What's up? This side over here, it's just Google V3 AGGR trade and it'll pop up. You also have to get your own settings in there as well, but yeah, you can grab it's actually for free, and it's actually really, really cool. What's funny though, or what's not funny, but what's cool is that we're actually going to be adding a component like that, especially with CBD specifically, to our app soon enough. So if you don't want to go through all the rigmarole there, then we can just help you out, I suppose, on the other end. All right, cool. Okay, so we got all of that. We've got all of that. Let me just double check my notes over here. Okay, I think we are good. I need to take a sippy sip of this water, and then we'll talk about some shit coins, huh? Some good old shit coins. Hey, what's up, YOLG? Yeah, man, it was actually smile surgery, and I think it's like more or less fine now. I don't have the goggles on, as you can see. Just wearing my usual gamer glasses, which make me extremely sexy. So, yeah, you laugh, but you also have sex with me, so that sucks for you, sir. The ladies love them. Ralph Mad, welcome to the cave, man. Nice name, by the way, Ralph Mad. Easton. There used to be like some sort of fuck it, I don't remember where I'm going with that. Philosophian says, Philosophian, what's up, man? Bitcoin options expiration in less than 2 hours, 62,000 bucks. We can actually look at the strikes over here. Fuck, what was that? Coins tracker or something? Look, okay, so I understand what your question is. It's like, the question is, okay, we have a Bitcoin options expiration in 2 hours. Is that going to matter for price? Okay, yes and no. The reason why it's no is because, look, if you're trading options and you're expiring on this week's weekly, then you probably have already rolled your positions. You're not holding premium into fucking Friday like an idiot, most likely, as most options traders are rather sophisticated. And second off, I don't think that it's going to matter too much this week anyways, because weeklies, weeklies that are not what are called regulars, which typically happen on the third week of the month, are usually not like big expirations anyways. And to be fair, like the options market is pretty small, relatively speaking, to begin with. So it's relevant in a way, and it's like kind of a fun talking point for people who don't know what the fuck they're talking about. But does it really matter? I have a hard time kind of resolving that equation. But let me see if I can. What was the thing that I used to go to? Options data, the Bitcoin. Let me just see what pops up here. I see skew. Yeah, it's coin options track. Here we go. Yeah, here's what I used to use. So I can bring this up over here, and we can analyze it together. I mean, maybe there's some major interest in this one right now, but yeah, expiring today. Okay, and again, keep in mind that, you know, if you had options positions expiring today, you've already rolled them. Like, you're not holding that. You're not like waiting until the last second, or you probably already covered yourself. Anyways, open interest. It's showing max pay. Look, this is completely irrelevant. Completely fucking irrelevant. It's fucking bullshit is what it is. anyways, where are we seeing the actual volume come in? We see a lot of put buyers. They're getting fucked, obviously. So that's par for the course. Par for the fucking course. I just want to see if this is relatively high compared to like what would be the regulars in this case, which is probably the 19th or maybe the 26th. Let's see. No, the 19th is very, very minimal right there. Even the 26th, no, the 26th is big. Okay, so that's probably it. Big buyers on the 70,000 call strike right there. It's going to show max pain at 56. That's not going to mean much as of right now. Here's what the end of years, the quarterlies would be. Yeah, big volume on these guys actually. A lot of positioning around the $100,000 strike right there. Interesting, very, very interesting actually. And main price point at 44. I don't think that matters much at all. But yeah, man, I'm not seeing anything major today, to be quite honest with you. And we've already kind of seen, or at least I'd imagine we've seen the totality of that. So if I were to make an analysis of that, sir, what I'd say is look, all right, where is your max pain? Technically speaking, it's 61, and that is where you start to see a lot more put buyers below that region. All right, so what happened yesterday? We probably saw people covering their puts, right? We come just down to 61,000 bucks or a little bit below it. People buy it back on up. So what do? They basically just did okay, so they bought the underline and then they bought the put. So what do they have? They have a synthetic long call is what they have, or what it's called. So, I mean, that would be my interpretation of it, but really grasping at straws right there, man. I don't think it matters that much. I think that people just kind of talk about that because it sounds smart, it sounds good, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. Anyways, BK says fib targets Luna USD for our daily weekly. Let's check it out. I got my Lunas tunas over here, and last I looked, it was looking very, very good, and it's still very, very good. Lovely. Should we record this one? Sure, why not, man? Why not? Ooh, baby. Burping it up. All right, here we have Terra Luna, symbol LUNA versus the dollar. And it looks like we have a new all-time high party, as this one printed new all-time highs both yesterday and today. So let's talk about the next set of potential continuation targets. As we actually do have a measured move come off of this as an ascending triangle right here. That is pointed up towards about 72 bucks, or sorry, 71.5 or so. Which would be the general objective, at least for myself, as long as the invalidation condition is not met, which in this case would be below on a daily closure, about 47.5 in this case. Below there, problems. As long as it's above there, I'm looking for sideways and up, and I'm looking for volatility expansion, which is coming off the lows right here, met with continuation of trend, which in this case is to the upside. Daily jewels also having major positive curvature right there, and daily RSI is more or less healthy and good, I suppose. Anyways, the question is where's the next fib targets? Well, you will notice that the 1618 is actually in line or very close to. Actually, no, it is not in line with that one. Very interesting. Let me see. Did I do this right? It should be actually in line with that. Yeah, I did do this right. Hold on. Yeah, it is showing some interest at about 59 bucks or so. So I would say that is going to be a relevant area. Above there, things can get a lot more crazy, obviously. So if you do start to see, especially weekly closures, but even dailies probably do it as well above those pivots. I would be looking for, I suppose, the 2-spot extension all the way to 100 bucks. Hit that round psychological even number, and then we'll come back to it after that. Of course, that's going to very likely happen over time, not all in the same day. But let's go see if momentum is actually helping this one out as well. But overall, very good chart right here. One of the better ones that we've seen, certainly. Weekly is obviously up, but that's not really relevant. It's going to be up as long as we're above 15.25. So yeah, not in any major issues right now. Daily remains the upside as long as above 48.40, which is interesting because that's actually just above my invalidation point. So good. And 12-hour 50.5. So this one actually does say that it very likely continues trend from here. Otherwise, otherwise problems. So this one is, quote unquote, breaking out like right now. And if you're looking at very short-term timeframes, does it pull back a little bit? Can pull back down to 50.5 bucks, no problem. Can even pull back down to like 48.5, no problem. But I would want to see higher lows there on the short-term timeframes, and then continuation on the very high-term timeframes like the 12-hour daily and above for this one, with those areas of interest to the upside in mind for the long term. So hopefully that was helpful. Hopefully it doesn't hit the invalidation, and there you go. Nice one, man. What's up, Flavio? Good morning, sir. No rush here, just getting in. All good, man. All good. Block sell-off was a good call. Seems to have found a floor. Is your 0.5 still in play, or bounce to the 10 simple on the 12-hour first? Let's see. Okay. Right, so I guess this one pulled back, which we said was likely yesterday. Yeah. Hey, there we go. Not bad. Every once in a while, that TA bullshit works. It's good enough. I do think that this one is going to continue this bounce a little bit more, regardless of whether you're bullish or bearish. Very likely up to about 9.5 cents or so. Anyways, seems to have found a floor. Is your 5 cent target still in play? That target's only actionable now if you do start to break below your current low structure, which would be right here. This one's actually playing rather technically, which is nice. So it'd be like right around here on an hourly closure, probably would do it at 7.5 cents or so. On an hourly closure, then yeah, I would be looking for 5 cents. Until then, I'm looking for short-term upside. And if this one does really start to take out your 4th of November high, then I would say that no, the 5 cent target, the 5 cent continuation target is not going to be met. This one very likely reclaims your prior medium-term time frame highs, which are in the shallow teens or so. But until then, a little bit of short-term upside. I just want to see how it responds somewhere right around about 9.5 cents. If it can get above there, that'll be the next short-term good thing. And then confirmation of like, okay, this one's, put in a major low right here, back above about 11 cents, it looks like. So nice, man. Cool. All right, Winning Choice 87 says, hello, Krown. What's up, man? Strange to see you without Terminator sunglasses. Yeah, feels good though. Actually, it's I think my eyes are like finally back there. Any input on XTZ USD 4-hour BBWP seems ready. Okay, let's go confirm this, and maybe this is a recordable video as well. I think people like their XTZ. People love their XTZ or XTC as well. If you see what I did there, ha ha ha. Anyways, here we have TEZO symbol XTZ versus the dollar, and what do we have here? We have a very constructive short-term chart right here. Put in volume off the lows, so I do like this 590-ish area as a good short-term time frame pivot. And short-term timeframes are suggesting, short-term timeframes are suggesting upside right here, as we do see regular phantom div coming off the last 4-hour low. We see 4-hour jewel with a pretty damn good signal right here, actually supported by DMI as well, which is really, really nice. And most importantly, volatility is expanding off this confirmed higher low as well. So I'd actually be looking for a continuation here, very likely up to your late October highs, somewhere around about 7 to 710 or so. And, maybe a short-term pullback right there, but overall still ranging. However, as long as this one is ranging between about 595 and 750, I actually would have a bullish bias on this, just simply based off a trend in this case. Daily actually looks really looks like a major low right here. Dare I say, this one probably does work its way above 7.5 and then retest its prior highs. Daily BBWP is on the floor as well, man. This one's just about ready, and daily jewel is given upside curvature. I only get bearish on this thing below 595, and bearish is not the right terminology. I'd just be looking for a pretty deep pullback, probably down just below $5 in that case. But a very good chart right here, actually. The weekly's put in a nice low as well. It does appear so. Yeah, man, I like it. XTZ seems to me like a setup. I just think that it takes a little more time going sideways within the greater range here. So, is it ready to break out above $7.5? I don't think so just yet, but perhaps like early next week, it might be a little more likely. So hopefully that's helpful. And there you go for Tezos. Sweet, man. What's up, Raj? ALBT, love you as well, sir. Let's see what we got here. Okay, on Finex, was it? Or do we go to KuCoin? Hey, there we go. Nice move. Hey, this one reclaimed 90 cents. Very, very good. Very, very good. I think this one's turning the corner, man. That was my major condition yesterday. It was looking good yesterday. It's put in a low. Now it's confirmed that as a major low right here. Now all I need to see it do is hold about just under 90 cents, and I'm looking for this one to retest around your early to mid September highs. Can't get too excited about it, like super long term for the next major trending move to the upside, as long as you're above about 123, but for what it's worth, I do think it's going to probably take that area out. I mean, all momentum oscillators are bullish here. A beautiful jewel buy signal right there, which we identified, I think, on yesterday's video, coming in from just a couple days prior. I'm looking up, man. I'm looking up. I just want to see it clear above this level, but short term, yeah, very likely continuation here. Short term pullbacks down to low 90 cents, completely fine. I only get bearish on something like this below 71 cents in this case, and yeah, at that point you can get you can be looking for some pretty nasty pullbacks down to like 50 to 55 cents. But right now I'm not necessarily thinking that. It's just that would be my condition for that. Pretty damn good. So hopefully that was helpful, man. Matt C says, hey, all good, man. We're actually looking at a Singapore travel video the other day. It looks really sweet, actually, man. Super clean, too. And thank you for that nice, just positive message. That's really kind of you, man. Thank you. Neil Naranjo says, short and long for KDA, Cadena. You don't need to yell at me, sir. It's all good. I can hear you. I can see you. I guess KuCoin is the one to go to here. Is there a short-term and long? I don't know what short-term and long-term means to you, but I'm going to go with a 4-hour and a daily. Still pretty good. Still pretty good here. I don't think it's put in a high just yet, but it is getting pretty fucking close. You will very likely have bearish divergence on the next drive, so I'd be looking for BBWP on the daily to get back above about 95 percentile, and then probably does pull back from there. Are we getting hot on the short-term time frames? Yeah. Oh wow. Nice Jesus Christ dildo right there. So you know what I would say as well, I would be calling a more interesting high here below about 973, 974 or so on an hourly even. Be looking for moves back down to 585 after that. Yeah, that's actually quite a big move. But until that happens, man, I actually should be looking for another drive to the upside. I suppose we can plot some targets here and just see what are the relevant regions, actually above the 1618 in this case. Both 13, what the hell? 13 to $15 if things really get crazy here. I don't really feel too confident with that, man. This one's a lot more close to putting in a high than it is not, though. That's what I'd say about that, man. Hopefully that was helpful, however. What's up, Mr. D? Good morning to you, man. Re-entry to FTM spot, 4-hour daily. I bought it 285 on average. Let's see what that looks like, man. See what that looks like over here. I guess we go to KuCoin again. 285. Yeah, I mean, you basically bought, well, you bought the median of the range. Not really for me, but hey, fair enough. Anyways, by the way, smash the like people to get a 200% likes. That'd actually be super cool. We're already at what? We are already at 641. Pretty damn good, man. Pretty fucking good. Again, major appreciation for that. It does rather help. Anyways, let's record this one because I know that this one's very popular and well, it's been moving a lot recently too. Here we have Phantom symbol FTM versus the dollar, and it looks to me like we put in a bit of a local low right here. The question is this the low that you're looking for? I wouldn't necessarily say that just yet. It is still an overall range here. An overall range between about $3 high, and we could be using the 260 level as a low now. As long as you're oscillating within this range, however, I would be naturally biased towards an upside resolution. But looking at BBWP on the 4-hour right here, it does say that we very likely test officially the top side of the range, so it probably does have one more drive a little bit higher, around $3 short term. 4-hour Jewel is also giving off a pretty decent signal, and 4-hour RSI prints some divergence on that last low as well. So would be looking for a little bit of short-term continuation right here, but really need to see it start to close 4-hour dildos above $4, and then yeah, I'd be looking for this one to take up a nice leg, 3.25, and this is going to look pretty damn good for the long term after that. Daily looks to me like another higher low right here. I really like that. Just in a daily closure above $3 would look phenomenal actually for retests around prior highs and probably maybe even new all-time highs after that. But for right now, still kind of consolidating, although I do think that this one's a lot more mature and ready than not, given 12-hour hidden bullish divergence right here and 12-hour BBWP being off the floor. So, if you do start to see this area break and volatility turn up, that's going to be the next really good signal on this one. Momentum oscillators are certainly suggesting an upside resolution. So I think I'll just leave it right there. Again, I don't get bearish on this thing, looking for, moves down to like $2 to $2.20 until it actually breaks on a 4-hour closure below about 260 in this case. Until then, this one actually looking really, really good for potentially another drive. I'm actually curious where the macro scale is on this one, just to see. Let's see, we can do something like this. All right, let's actually get this right, perhaps. Boom. Okay, yeah. So we've thus far topped out at the 1618. Sorry, 1.618. If it does start to break those highs, I guess I'm looking much higher, but it doesn't really. That seems a little bit. Overzealous right there. I think I'll hold off on stating those numbers. But for right now, again, sideways from this range, good for now. So hopefully that was helpful. And there you go for Phantom. Sweet. All right, let's see what else we got over here. J3F, what's up, man? Ring, Ray USD, 1 hour and 4 hour. Okay. I think we looked at this one yesterday. Let's see where it currently is. I believe yesterday it was still ranging a bit, and yeah, still. Actually, no, it's kind of broken the range. It looks like. Hey, not bad. 1 hour. What are we looking at here on the 1 hour? Would like to see it hold this level right here at about 1150 on the hourly in order for me to look at this as a still healthy consolidation, of which right now it certainly is. Momentum oscillator is just a little more corrective right now, so that's completely fine. Very, very short term sideways essentially. 4 hour, same thing. If you do start to lose that level, I would be looking for another move down towards about 11 even. But for right now, this one actually looking pretty damn good. The greater range, however, and probably what you're more interested in, is the 13.25 level to the upside versus about 930 to the downside. While it has tested the top side of the range, I don't necessarily think that this is going to be the one that actually breaks it right here. So sideways for a little bit longer and then probably sets it up for another try, and that would be pretty damn good. So hopefully that's helpful, man. There you go. Let's see. Crypto Alien says, hooked on Earth's coffees, girls, and Coke. Love it, man. Absolutely love it. Love the death metal intro. VET is trending on Twitter. Breaks 1558, and then it should run. Thanks, good human. Let's check it out. Yeah, let's check it out. This one seems to have like a good cult following too. Yeah. Oh, wow. Hey, good one. Yeah, it's very, very close. Very fucking close here. All right, here we have VeChain, symbol VET versus the dollar. And we actually have a pretty interesting setup right here. So it is testing the top side of a range since we last spoke. I still want to actually see it close above the top side of this range at about 15.5 cents. And then, yeah, I would be looking for a general short-term continuation move somewhere around about 19 to 20 cents. And then very likely hit the measure move on this as a reaccumulation formation all the way up to the 1.414, just below 24 cents. Does that set it up for, you know, new all-time highs later on down the road? Probably yes. But, you know, one thing before the next, obviously. Now, the question is this one actually ready to break right here or not? Well, volatility would be in the posturing that you kind of want it to be in if you do want to see a potential break, as it is coming off the lows right there and is actually above the moving average on that as well. Momentum also is certainly in a more bullish posturing right here as well for the daily jewel, actually suggesting actually suggesting a pretty damn good one right there, to be fair, for like a continuation drive. Short-term time frames like a 4 hour. Do we see anything of particular interest right here? No, not really, but I should come up with some short-term ranges here just in case, because if this one does reject from the topside resistance, I would say that it's a rejection with a 4 hour closure below 14 cents. If that were to happen, I'd be looking for this one to fall back down to the median of the range, somewhere right around about 12.5 to 12.25. So until then, this one actually is in a position of strength right here, and well, it actually looks pretty damn good. So take that as you will. What does the weekly look like? Weekly looks really good. I'd even go as far as saying this as well. Weekly closure above 15 cents and very likely sets it up for the next major move. Let's see what the... did I do this right before? Not for what I want to talk about right now. No. You know, on a break of the all-time high, it's probably looking at moves towards 40, maybe even 50 cents long term. So starting to be a very relevant setup right here. Just want to see it clear that next major area and then good. So cool. Hopefully that's helpful on bet. Yeah, man, got smile surgery, not LASIK surgery. So I think the recovery is a little bit faster, but it was kind of, yeah, it really wasn't that bad. Like the first couple of days, my eyes were a little bit more on the dry side, and it kind of felt like, you know, like when you have something stuck in your eyes and feels like it's getting scratched. That's what it felt like. And then after that, completely fine, man. But yeah, if you want to, if you're interested in getting it, because I've been getting a lot of questions about this. Yeah, I definitely suggest it. I mean, it was a very easy procedure. It was fast. It was maybe like 5 to 10 minutes max. But if you want to scare the shit out of yourself, just go search up the procedure on YouTube. I can tell you though, my heart rate definitely was starting to increase a lot once the doctor like got the fucking knife out and was bringing it towards my eyes, because you are 100% awake during the procedure and you can see maybe not so well. But first they put you under this laser, right? And they make it so that the laser has like kind of like a cup on it that attaches to your eye. So you're first being brought up to that. And by the way, before that, your eyelids are being taped down, like so that you could, you know, actually keep your eyes open. And then they put over like this metal thing that really forces your eyes open. And then you go into the laser, and then you get brought up to the laser, cup goes over your eyes, and then the laser like does its thing, and then your vision turns all hazy, but you can still see. And then you get brought down off of that, and then the doctor, he gets out the knife and starts cutting your fucking eyes. So yeah, man, it was definitely worth it. But man, it felt fucking weird when that doc was like grabbing my fucking eye, man. And you feel that. It doesn't really hurt, but you feel it. It's like, ugh, get the fuck away from my eyes, doc. What the hell are you doing? What's up, fuck bro? Eyes are doing well, man. We just looked at Luna, so all good. All good right there. Do we get a pullback today on short-term timeframes? Maybe yes. On long-term timeframes, I still like it as long as the analysis from earlier, you know, it remains above the invalidation points. Vendigo says, can you please check out ETC? Yeah, sure. I haven't looked at ETC in a very long time. You really know that the market's getting close to a major high when ETC gets going. But let's record this one just out of curiosity. Here we have Ethereum Classic symbol ETC versus the dollar, and we actually do have a pretty damn good macro long-term setup right here. This one is starting to put in a bit of a higher low on the weekly. It's definitely a laggard comparison compared to a lot of the other charts that we've seen today. A lot of the other ones are like already making new highs or very close to it. In this case, this one hasn't even taken out its middle of August highs, but that'd be my next major area to be aware of, above about 76 bucks. Above there, things look really, really good. Would have a measure move, as you can see right here, in line with the 414 at 108 to 110 or so, and then probably looking at long-term continuation after that. Of course, there is an invalidation on long-term bullishness below about whatever last week's spike low was, 43 bucks on a weekly closure, especially. I wasn't given any time frames for this one, so I'm just rolling with it. Daily is a line, BBWP is on the floor, so this one's looking for a move, you know, basically any time now. I think that this one's incredibly likely to move. Momentum oscillators are more bullish posturing, but again, ranges are your friend here, and it's actually very, very simple. So above here, good. Below here, bad. There you go. Hopefully that's helpful, and there you go for Ethereum Classic. Sweet. J3F wants to look at Mango USD. Okay, Mango. Yes, Mango. Very good. Very tasty. I guess FTX is the one to go to. 1 hour and 4 hour. Much love, Dr. Derp. That is I, Dr. Derp, here to fix your none of your problems. Hourly, probably a little bit more downside, fills out the range a bit. Bullish, however, as long as you're above 36 or so. 4 hour, good. Just short term, probably pulls back a little bit. Again, as long as the invalidation is not met, I'm looking for this one to work its way back up towards 45, 50 cents or so. It's fine. It's just not much history there, to be fair. Cool. Mamba for Life says FTM hourly daily. I think we just did that one. Did we just do that one? Let me just double check. Yeah, we got that. So that's also recorded as well. So I'll upload it in a bit. What's up, Neshusto? Man, that does not sound like a Swedish name. Good morning, choose well though, sir. Thoughts on TRIAS daily and weekly? Sure. Sounds like I'm saying TRIAS, but I'm saying TRIAS. I'm trying to say I done goofed. Got it. All right, all good. Sweet. Okay, so what were we looking at here? Daily and weekly. All right, so let's get the fuck off the 4 hour. Daily's trending, man. Daily just put another high low right here, it looks like, and I'm looking for this one to work its way back up to its May highs. What is that? 20, 25, 26 bucks or so. Weekly, same thing. Both, higher term time frames bullish. I do think that invalidation conditions needs to be put out here, and that would be below about 17.5 bucks. At that point, I'm looking for deep retracements, but for right now, good. Still good. Just kind of chugging its way along. Actually, very constructive right here, in fact. So, yeah. I mean, this one, not a whole hell of a lot of history, but generally a very constructive chart. So, I like it. I like it indeed. What's up, Gears ISA? Guten Tag, sir. Definitely German. Could you give most of my ideology of Germans comes from that movie. What was it called? What was it? Beerfest? Is it Beerfest or Oktoberfest? Is it called? No, but like the movie. I think it's called Beerfest, or the one where they talk about Das Boot, man. Oh God, come on! Someone has to know this shit. You have to know. You must know. Anyways, let's see. What are we looking at here? Anyways, API 3. Okay, daily, weekly. Man, the API 3 fuckers used to have like some bots that would just wreck my channel with scam comments. And this one looks like it like it needs scam comments in order to pump itself up. Yeah, I don't like this chart that much, man. When most things in this market are looking really, really good, it is beer fest. Fuck yeah, man. Yeah, that movie's great. Yeah, man. Most charts today looking pretty damn good. This one not among them. Just rejected the top side of your 640 range. So I'm actually looking for downside here. Back down to 4 to 415. I'd get extremely bearish on this thing below 3.5 or 345. As long as you're above there, though, I do think that you can make some excuses for it. But yeah, man, anytime I run across these coins that would like basically hire these fucking Russian bots or whatever bots they are, I don't know why I say that they're Russian, but just these bots that like invade everyone's YouTube content with these scam comments, probably not a good sign, man. And this is certainly a big one that did it about a year ago. So I would be very careful with it, man. Nothing, at least in my opinion, nothing good about this thing, especially as long as you're on lower highs, but even 640, a big area right there. So take that as you will, man. Also, I hope your laser eyes on a top signal. They could be. They might just be, sir. Guju Viper says MTV USD pair on KuCoin for our daily weekly. Okay. I don't know if there's a weekly on this thing, man. Like, look, if this thing hasn't been around for like years, there's not much of a weekly. I guess, actually, yeah, it has been around for years. Okay, cool. All right, sweet. Yeah, there is a weekly right here, and it's fucking good, too. As long as you're above, what is this? Let's just call it basically 2 spot 1 cent. I'm looking for continuation on the weekly. This is very, very good. Daily, same thing. Invalidation below 20 cents in this case, very simply put. Below there, I would not be bullish on it any longer. 4 hour, very, very good right here. Trending above 2 spot 2 cent, actually 222 right there. Nice and easy to remember. I'm looking for short-term, medium-term, and long-term upside. Very good. Actually, very, very good. Very interesting to see something like this. Yeah, not bad, man. Very constructive right there, too. Amir Alkiani says, hey, man, what's up? I got into KDA at $9. Just wondering on your... Yeah, we looked at this one earlier. Got in at $9. Let's see where you're at. I mean, you basically bought the breakout a little bit after the breakout, though. I do think this one has another drive higher, but I think it's also a lot closer to finding a major high than not. We spoke about it a little bit more at length earlier, so perhaps hopefully you caught that. If not, it'll be timestamped later. Anonymous says, donate this super chat to your favorite non-paid inquiry. Cool. I don't really watch the chats right now because I have to keep my eyes on these ones over here. But if Elsa wants to, well, fuck it. I'll just go through a few of them and see if any like big ones pop up here. A lot of shit coins being called out here. Fucking hell, man. Hi. Hey, Elon. Long term. No. We're not wasting this one on a fucking shitcoin token, sir. Let's see. I'm looking for like a question that has an interesting postulation. Here we go. I think this one might be cool. Okay, so Dr. Fasanova says, here's a contrarian thought. Everyone and their mother thinks Bitcoin is going to 100,000. I agree with that. It's certainly the general thought process in this market right now. Could it be, might it be just because of that Bitcoin actually has topped out and will head lower? Possibly. I mean, you should always entertain, what... This is why it's important to have a bias on what you think price action is going to do. Like, obviously, that's what makes up your goddamn trade plan, for the love of God. But at the same time, you also need some sort of invalidation that tells you that's not what's going to happen. So, yeah, I mean, could it be? There's always a possibility, statistically speaking, that, yeah, you're going to be, like, massively wrong. No doubt about that. You just need to know, like, where is your risk? That's what makes up a trade plan, man. That's how you can actually, remain safe, I suppose. So yeah, I mean, you bring up a very, very good point. No doubt about that. Very, very good point right there. But still, you just have your errors out. So for me, where would I call a massive top on this? Well, it'd be extremely concerning for Bitcoin to come back down below your 25th of October low, which is about 57,500. That would be like a first major warning flag. But even then, we'd still have a weekly uptrend, so I wouldn't necessarily get macro bearish. I would get macro bearish below, especially like $45,000, or actually it's more like 40, whatever this local low is right here. So it's more like 43,500 or so. That would make me massively bearish, looking for humongous moves to the downside over time. But until that happens, man, my biases are what they are. Cool. Robert DeRue says, hi, good sir. What's up, man? Can you take a look at Sand USD? Sure. So we called a top on this one yesterday, I believe. Let's see if that held. At least I think it was this one. Let's see. Yeah, we did get a bit of a top right there. That was Robert DeRue. I still like it, actually. I think that this one's trying for a bit of a higher low right here. So we did get the pullback, but I don't think it's, at least not just yet. Not just yet. Should we do this one? Is this like the big winner from the other day? Maybe it was. Maybe it wasn't. Wow, log scale and linear scale look very similar. That is scary. All right, here we have SAND box symbol SAND versus the dollar, and it's getting a bit of a pullback right here, which I believe we spoke about on the last time we had a video on this one, and we could come up with a bit of a new short-term time frame range, and would be looking for a bit of a bounce off this range, very likely back up somewhere around about $3 or so. However, I would not necessarily be calling continuation of new highs or even the prior all-time high. Until, as long as you're below about 315 in this case. Above there, good. I would be looking for new all-time highs, of course. In this case, I'm just looking for sideways at best with short-term upside. And if this one does break below about 258, even on an hourly closure, I would be looking for big moves to the downside. I guess relatively big moves to the downside, probably around about 2.25 to 220 or so. Until then, just short term, a bit of a bouncy bounce here, as this one's already kind of had a pretty phenomenally impressive run. So I do think that it's relevant to say that it's probably likely to spend some time within this range here. And until you get back up about 315, I wouldn't be looking at like new all-time highs or anything like that. Volatility is on the ground right now, but that's only on the hourly, and that does not necessarily represent the macro or the greater scale here. So just kind of likely speaking towards the range right now, not necessarily resolution. So hopefully that was helpful. And there you go for Sandbox, sir. Let's see. Chester Adler says, Hex is the bottom end. There's a trend line from May to August bottom of price action. Oh, trend lines were made to be broken, sir. I really don't care too much about diagonal trend lines. Can they work? Yeah, absolutely. Do I trust them on an asset like this? Fuck no. No, man. Look at all the trend lines that have been broken along the way. All your trend lines are wrecked. Fucking wrecked, man. Do I think that the bottom's in? I'm not really getting any bottoming signals right here, if that's what you're asking. We'll have some bullish divergence at some point on the daily RSI, but I don't think we're there just yet. There's no real talks of a bottom being in on Hex, and until you really get back above about 26 cents. I was looking at a potential bottom over here, and I mean that bounce was so fucking piss poor. It's just atrocious. And even then, you know, now like confirming a local low is not the same as confirming a reversal, because a reversal in this one is going to require a lot more than that. This one is macro heavily bearish as long as you're below 34 cents now. So anything below there is just another lower high, man. And I suspect that 30 cents is going to be a major resistance going onwards and forwards. So, you know, does it put in a low here and then bounce up somewhere around there? I still think it's actually possible here. It's not like not really showing any bottoming signals just yet, but I mean, like it's in a pretty sticky area right now, so it really wouldn't take too much. At least 4 hours showing a bit of short-term upside. I would still call a bounce here, to be honest with you. But as long as this thing's especially below 26 cent for the short term, nothing going, and as long as you're below 34 cent, it is macro bearish. I mean, macro for something that's only been around for, well, I guess it's been around for like a couple of years now, so fair enough. Long term, like over the next few months, probably coming into like early Q2 2022, I'm looking for moves down to somewhere between 10 to 15 cents and probably lower than, I mean, this, look, man, this, if I showed you this chart, what would you think? Look, if I showed you this chart, what would you think? And again, I know that I'm going to get a lot of hate from the Hex people out there. Again, I was bullish on this thing from 2 cents to 50 cents, and I did say highs very likely in at 50 cents and works its way down to 20 cents. We're there now. We're going to bounce a little bit, but I'm not really seeing anything that makes me think that the bounce is going to be anything more than that. And this thing can bounce up to 34 cents, and that's just still very bearish to me. Still very, very bearish. So I wouldn't be surprised long term if you see this thing at like 2 cents. That's my honest opinion. I actually do think that, but that's probably like a year away, year to a year and a half away. So take it as you will, man. I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for that statement, but I'm just looking at charts here. I'm just looking at charts, and when it looks bullish, I will call it bullish. I can assure you of that, at least to myself. And obviously, I can be wrong as well. I can certainly be wrong. Cool. Oh, you changed the request to AXS? Motherfucker, man. Why do you do that? Oh, no, it's probably Dan Henderson because he's asking for sand. Okay, cool. All right, Mr. Dan. Mr. Henderson? Mr. Henderson. Oh, good to see you. AXS. Very good. Yeah, this is fucking bullish. Here we have Axie Infinity symbol AXS versus the dollar, and what do we have? We have the ever slow as molasses breakout evolving in front of our very faces. Just want to see a daily closure, basically here or higher by end of day, and I'd be looking for the next upside targets to be well initiated, of which I don't even have them populated here. We do have an ascending triangle going on right now, so let's see where that points up towards. That points up towards a 2-spot extension at 180 or so. On a confirmation of breakout, and then again, I'm not really looking for like major highs right there, just short-term highs, probably long-term continuation towards, dare I say, $200, man. These metaverse games, these things are getting really popular. It's kind of like the just the zeitgeist right now. Like everyone's kind of talking about it, right? But I would be looking for also short-term pullback somewhere around about 160, maybe 165 as well. Long-term, very, very good. Nothing bearish about this chart at all whatsoever, as long as you're above 130 now. As long as you're above 130. 4 hours trending as well. This one's trending on all time frames. Very good. Very, very good. Want to see it actually follow through now, because what do you have right here? Oh, you got it, baby. You fucking got it. BBWP expanding off the lows. Very nice. Very fucking nice indeed. So You might say that I'm biased towards the upside. In this case, I do think this is a ridiculously aggressive chart, and at some point it's going to put in a major high and slice like a fucking knife through hot butter to the downside. But at least for now, I think a little more likely for another drive to the upside first before any sort of major pullback action. So hopefully that was helpful. And there you go for axes. Sweet. Crypto cheat code says, yo, Cameron Berkeley, alt account. Whoa! You have 2 names. I wish you pushed stream back or forward to make it manageable for North America. Yeah, man, I actually set out a, I sent out a poll like a week ago asking if people wanted to change the time to what would be equal to like, I don't know, like 9, I think it was like around 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm willing to do that, but there was a pretty emphatic response to it to keep it the current time right now. So I will be keeping that until there is a shift in sentiments. Anyways, they're saying that Cardano is pissing me off right now. When's the pump? Sir, you picked the fucking loser of the market right now. No offense, man. You're not a loser, obviously, but this as a coin, as a chart, is a loser. Just for the simple reason that everything else is moving, and this one is just more or less in a line and slightly down. Again, if I'm just looking at Cardano's chart, I'm bearish. But the thing is that is this put in a low right here? It probably is. We do have our first higher high above our range highs, and we do have our first higher low right here. Probably looking for this one to work its way back up towards 220, but it probably catches up to the rest of the market. I'd get phenomenally bearish on this thing below 195 on a daily, looking for big moves down to like 170. But until that happens, it's difficult to be bearish on some when the rest of the market's not really looking like that. And that also does imply if Bitcoin breaks down, if you see Bitcoin below 61, Cardano is going to get fucking boo caked. It's going to be in the middle of a boo cake sandwich and not the place that you want to be, sir. So hopefully that was helpful. Crypto base says XRP USD short and long term. All right, I don't know what the fuck that means to you, sir, but oh, the XRP army is going to be happy about this one, aren't they? Short term sideways good as long as you're above 116.5. I'm looking for this one to test back up short term to 122. Daily closure above. I mean, daily is actually fine right here. I don't really have any reason to invalidate bullishness on this thing as long as you're above about 112. And at that point, I'm looking back up towards 140 to 150, and that's the next major area for the long term. Closing above there on a weekly would look really good for test back up towards 180 to $2 or so, and probably just follows through after that. I mean, this is a good setup right here, to be fair. Actually, fuck it, I'll record it. Here we have Ripple versus the dollar, and we do have a pretty good long-term setup right here. Ripple always kind of a bit of a laggard, but fair enough. Got to give credit where credit is due, of course, and really nothing bearish about this thing as long as you're especially above about $1.05 now. Just want to see the weekly clear above about 130 on a closure, or a daily closure above about 140. In that case, I would be targeting your prior highs from May, between about 160 to maybe even as much as 190 actually. And that would be looking like macro continuation here on the monthly. I mean, this one did set in a higher low and a higher high. So, I do respect it as reversal. Daily invalidations below about 111 in this case, and 4 hour is a bit of a short-term range. However, holding the higher lows above about 116.25 does imply short-term sideways and up for this one. Generally okay. I'm just biased towards the upside here. It's kind of the market condition as well. Hidden bullish everyone's come off that last low here too. And most importantly, volatility is really starting to expand off the lows and maintain above the moving average. So this setup is really maturing here, just taking its time as Ripple typically does. So hopefully that was helpful. And there you go for Ripple. Cool. R Lake 13 says, can you take a gander at track? Sure. Don't know this one, but I can gander at it all you want, man. Well, as long as my eyes can see. Sweet. Okay, track. Kind of looks like it blew its top. Well, it's just continuation. I think it's just an altcoin here, and they just do whatever they're going to do. Short term, a bit of a short term range, maybe down to like 160. I wouldn't really have any reason to invalidate this one as like, I guess, bullish as long as you're above 140 on a 4 hour daily. It's hitting really, really high levels here on BBWP. Daily looks a lot more toppy to me than not, to be fair. Did we hit a major level here? That's a real question. Yeah, we did. We hit the 1618. Okay, now that I've seen that, I do think that this one does trade sideways for a while. The range being something like this, like 150 to the downside versus 240 to the upside. Below 150, I would say that this one has put in like a major high and will work its way much further to the downside over time. But as long as you do remain within this range, it's overall good. Just I don't think it's going to be doing anything anytime soon. It's really like been rather aggressive right there, to be fair. So probably takes a little bit of time to cool off, I expect. What's up, Pablo's out? There he is. Glad you see charts now in 4K. And I actually need to get a 4K monitor now that you remind me. My fucking supplier, man. Oh, they done goofed. If you haven't noticed this whole week, no one's made a comment on this, but this whole week, my computer over here, my beloved computer, has been dead. It actually died on the fucking live stream from 1 week ago. And I ordered a goddamn part from the local store, and these motherfuckers told me it was going to be 1 to 2 days. It's been like 7 days, and it's definitely not coming today as well. I'm mad. I'm real mad. I'm real fucking mad about it. Yeah, Vericocopa, boycott their assholes. And I've been single-handedly supporting those fucks for like years now. Jesus Christ. ABNB hourly. So is this Airbnb? I don't think I've ever really looked at this chart. You're looking at what, sir? Hourly and daily. Gotcha. Daily, very good. Daily's breakout. Looks like a bit of an ascending triangle right there. Probably working its way up to like 183. I really do have dyslexia. That is insane, man. 4 hour, same thing is trending right now, man. Volatility expansion off the lows. I'm looking for continuation of trend here. Invalidation below about 173, but until then, short term, I'm looking for continuation like 183. Very likely a short term pullback there and start to close above there, especially on a daily, weekly. Then this is going to look really, really good. And volatility, for what it's worth, does suggest that it will have a chance to do that. And at that point, you probably got to be looking towards 195, I guess, or 200. Look really good after that. So hopefully that's helpful, man. Jack Jansen says 1 USD daily weekly. Sure. This one, what I remember, was looking pretty good. Ooh, got some burpees. Daily weekly. All right, let's redo this chart for this specific time frame. Here we have Harmony 1, symbol ONE, versus the dollar. What do we have going on right here? We have a pretty fucking bullish chart, actually. Now, the problem with this last move is that because it was so aggressive, we don't really have like the invalidation for daily bullishness is quite low compared to current price action at 23 cents. So below there, I do get, bearish, looking for big moves to the downside. As long as you're above there, though, I do look at any sort of sideways price action is generally good. And if I'm looking at the 4 hour time frame specifically, looking at this level right here to kind of beget a little bit of short-term downside, that would be below about 27.80 or so. Until then, short-term, it looks more bouncy than not. Got some bullish evidence come off that last low, so I'd be saying probably another move back up towards your short-term range highs at about 31 cents. Above 31 cents, I would be looking for a reclaim of your late October highs right here. But sideways within this range is going to be perceived generally as bullish. So I do like that. It's just I think it's going to take some time. If you're looking at the weekly, it's long-term good. I'm sure that people are going to call this shooting star dildo. Yeah, it is. But trend is your friend. And if it were to break down below those levels, I'd give it a chance to put in the higher low first. I mean, all higher term time frames still bullish here. Monthly's phenomenally fucking bullish. So I'm generally looking for sideways for a while and then an upside resolution towards new highs, probably around 50 cents long-term if that were to happen. Hopefully that was helpful, and there you go for Harmony, sir. Harmony, nice. Very nice name. Dan Dea says, can we have a summary of Ethereum? Yeah, let's do it. Like, no one asks about Ethereum anymore. It's actually really interesting. This was like the one in 2017, and now no one gives a fuck. Let me take another sippy sip of this. All right, should we redo this? Yeah, let's just redo it for this analysis. Another fresh one. All right, here we have Ethereum versus the dollar. And what do we have here? Are we going to get the new all-time high party started yet again? It does look like so. We do see that another higher low has been confirmed right around about 44.75. So I am bullish long-term, looking for sideways and up on the daily specifically, as long as you're above that pivot. And I would be looking for a resolution to pretty much the all-time highs and very likely new all-time highs above 45.90 or so, or just want to say 4600 as it's a bit easier. Now, do we see any sort of particular indications here that give us hopium in the short term? Yeah, daily BBWP is on the floor right here. So we are looking for expansion, I think at latest like end of next week, probably sooner rather than later. However, sorry, this is on a 4 hour. I apologize. Oh, Jesus Christ, man. Okay, so you're just gonna have to adjust everything I just said for a 4 hour. Below 44, 75, I would be looking for a drop down somewhere around about 43.75 to 4400 or so, somewhere right around here. I do not get bearish on this thing long term. However, as long as you are above that level, and it's not even bearish long term, I'll just be looking for a much deeper retracement, somewhere around about 3,900 to 3,800 or so. Until then, daily is actually given a pretty powerful signal right here with daily BBWP, which is expanding off very low reads. Now above the moving average on it, actually using as support, I don't think that actually works like that, but it is a good signal nonetheless. Daily Jewel representing momentum is still remaining with its upside posturing, so I like that. And daily RSI is holding within the bullish control zone successfully, which is really, really good right there as well. So I am certainly biased towards the upside here on the daily. Weekly, I suspect, is probably more of the same. Oh my god. Oh, fuck my Angus and call me a bitch. Look at this. We do have weekly BBWP expanding off of actually the lowest reads we've ever seen ever on this one, which is very, very interesting. So that is, this one's going to get extremely volatile very, very soon. It looks like it's probably this month. And right now, I mean, I'm going to be going with, I'm biased towards continuation of trend, obviously, which is going to be the upside. We do have targets to be made off of this, which, you know, on a break of current highs, probably looking at 4,800 short term, maybe a short term pullback right there. But realistically, I'm looking for, you know, big moves up towards, you know, the mid $5,000s to $6,000 territory. I also want to remind myself that over here on Ethereum's monthly, we are trending successfully above the topside shoulder band right now. We just closed yet again another monthly dildo above at 4,000, and this one is, well, continuation right now. And so is the bi-monthly, being an even higher term time frame than that. It's going to imply more and more long-term continuation, I suppose. So looking at this right here, what is the interpretation? Well, we're trending above the topside shoulder band, so that is volatility expansion. We have obviously trend continuation, and never even really has tried for a higher low just yet, except for on the monthly. And obviously momentum, as we'll see over here, is probably still to the upside as well, I'm gonna guess. Yeah, monthly Stokes just freshly crossed the upside and will be in the bullish control zone as long as you're above 2667. So you might say that I'm looking up on Ethereum. Just be aware of the invalidations here. Long term, pretty damn good. Just yeah, pretty damn good. I'll just leave it right there. Hopefully that's helpful. And there you go for Ethereum. Nice, man. Very nice. 104 Arbiter Zen Sign says Alien Worlds TLM. All right, got to be a new one. Alien Worlds. Okay. Good, whatever the fuck this thing is on the 4 hour. Looking for probably a short-term continuation move towards 37 cents. Invalidation on daily bullishness below 24 and in a third. As long as you're above there, I'm generally going to be looking up on this one. It's very good, actually. Above, well, at least for the short term, above about 36.5 cents on a daily closure. And I look for this this block over here to get met. Until then, short term up. Cool. What's up, Mr. Rubio? Can you check out TRIAS? We actually already looked at it. You can just, we'll timestamp it a little bit later, so all good there. MM says SHIB 1 hour, 4 hour daily. Oh yeah, let's follow up on the fucking SHIB shit token. Oh yeah, I believe we called a big pullback down yesterday to 4,000, and did we get it? We got it, baby! We fucking got that SHIB token. Yeah, fuck yeah. Oh god damn it, it's gonna bounce here. Piece of SHIB. Piece of SHIB. Alright, let's redo this one. You like my, do you like that? All right, here we have SHIB token versus the dollar. Yesterday, I believe we called a bit of a high on that and a retracement down to about 4,000. We've got pretty much just that all the way down to about 4,250 or so. Looking good right there. Now the question is, has it put in a low or not? Well, very short-term timeframes like an hourly do say that we're going to at the very least retest lows. If we do have some hidden bearish evidence come off the last little high right there, probably implying another move down to about 4,500 for the very short-term timeframes. 4 hour. Same thing. And I would actually be bearish on this one still, as long as you're below 5,400 on a 4 hour. Above 5,400, I would say that you do have a pretty nice low end, and you probably do work your way back up towards 65 to 6,900, like millions of a dollar or something like that. Just ridiculously small number. But you know, this one's going to 1 cent. Did you know that? No. That's why I stopped at 1 cent. It's going to $1. It's going to a fucking buck, man. Anyways, all jokes aside. Very, very likely to bounce here after maybe one more test of the lows. I wouldn't necessarily be calling continuation to new lows as long as you're closing 4 hour dildos above about 4,250. The second that you do close 4 hour dildos below 4,250, I would be looking for a general move down, big moves down in this case, down to about 3,300. But until that happens, I'm just looking for a bit of a, very, very short term retest of lows, very likely a bounce there, and then come back to it after that and see if it gets above 5,400. That would be my condition for another try to the upside towards your prior higher term time frame range highs. not necessarily to call a continuation move there, just to call a move back up around there. For what it's worth, the daily does look like a major high to me. There is multiple drives of bearish divergence come off the highs. We do see BBWP is suggesting some pretty impressive price action right there. Personally speaking, I do think this one will find its way down to 3,300 over the next month and a half. Most likely, probably sooner rather than later, to be honest with you. Curious what we look like over here too, because this one's probably beat up a little bit, enough for like a pity bounce. Yeah, in 4 hours. No, god damn it, it's not doggy. The other coin. Sorry, I say that with it as a term of endearment. Okay, these are great. They're gonna make you rich as fuck. They're gonna be the solution to all the world's problems. It's even gonna be used in place of current fiat currencies. In fact, rather interesting. Just imagine that you're gonna go to the supermarket tomorrow and be like, "Hey, I'll give you 100 billion SHIB tokens for my coffee." It's $2. It's also gonna get you laid and many girlfriends, many sexors. But yeah, this one's probably going to bounce here for what it's worth on the 4 hour, and then we'll come back to it after that. Long term, however, daily coming down hard below 68. Weekly, well, that's probably not too relevant right now. 5 day, yeah, 65 as well. Sorry for all the poorly formulated jokes right there, but yeah, there you go for SHIB. Short term bouncy, long term, I do think that's probably found a decent high right there. There you go. Sweet. The real G squared says Hero USD. Okay. A hero. What is this? Meta hero. So it must be in the metaverse. There is not a. Okay, you did not include timeframes, but this is very, very new, man. It's actually good, I guess, for the very short-term timeframes, but I really don't feel too confident on very short-term timeframes, or sorry, very new charts like this. I'd have to say I'm probably looking for a move short-term back up to 16 cents. But other than that, man, it's only been around for, about a week now, a little bit less than a week. So I don't really have much to say about it other than that. I would get, I guess, looking for some good downside below 1370, looking for moves down to 12 and a quarter, but that's not very helpful. I understand. It's a little bit too new, man. What's up, dude daddy? Hey, I hope all's well with you and yours as well across the pond. Nice one, man. Can you take a look at OMI USD 4 hour on Gate.io? Okay. Gate.io is not going to be on TradingView, but I suspect that should have the same chart. If it doesn't have the same chart, then that's concerning. It is actually breaking out right here, man. It's really, really good. Volatility is expanding. This one's already breaking above its range highs, it looks like. Just need to see a daily closure basically here by end of day, and I'll be looking for this one to continue back up towards your April highs. Around basically 1 cent or so long term. We see plenty of drives of hidden bullish divergence off the last low. I am biased towards the upside there. It's just yeah, it's good. Invalidation below about 0.7 of a cent. I think it's kind of the same thing as yesterday, actually. Last looked at it. Let's see. Alexander at me says, "Hey Krown, I hope you're well." Hey man, thanks. I hope that you're well as well. Can you please take a look at CVX versus Ethereum? Okay, here we go. And you're looking at a 4-day, daily, and 3-day. Not sure that there's going to be a 3-day on this chart. Yeah, man, it really has been around long. Again, like 6 months is really not a long time. I want to see like 6 years. Short term, actually, I look at this one as pretty toppy. Let's see. Daily looks very toppy to me. The 4 hour looks more bouncy, so maybe a little bit more of a short term bouncy bounce, probably somewhere around here. Maybe a little bit lower, like 0.535. Daily does look toppy to me, however. So while I would be looking for a bounce of this level, if the bounce fails to basically get back above 625 right there, just this last little spike high, I'm looking for, well, just another lower high and continuation downwards. Daily looks to me like it wants to come down to like 45. If you are asking about a 2 days, kind of same thing as well, man. Bearish divergence come off that last high. I do think that this one will work its way down towards like 0.045 or 0.005 even. I try for a bounce there. Very short term time frames like an hourly or 4 hour might give you one more bounce here, but I don't feel too compelled by that. It's kind of a weird chart to me. Hopefully that's helpful though. What's up, Alexander Watkins? Mr. Watkins, SRM 4 hour daily. Okay. See right here. Okay, Binance. What do we think on this one? Actually good. Daily Jewel still with upside posturing, volatility expanding right here. It just tested, well, no, didn't necessarily test the top side of the range. Really want to see it clear above, again, 960. I think same thing as yesterday when we looked at it, and then I'd be looking for returns back up to your September highs. Until then, sideways within this range is good, but how long can it go within this range? Go a little bit longer. Short term, I guess it is trending right now as long as you're above 775 on a 4-hour closure. Below there, I'd probably be looking for another retest of the bottom side of your range. I don't get bearish on this thing, however, or look at it as bad as long as you're above about 6.25. Just sideways here is good. It's just like, when is this one ready? Volatility says probably next week, and price range says above 962. That's the big area to be aware of. So hopefully that was good right there. Nice, man. Let's see. Kaizen Ramen says EGLD for our daily. Sure, man. This is Elrond. Do you mind opening up the door for some fresh air? Oh yeah. Let's actually record this one too. Man, I have way too many lines here. Are looking at all kinds of time frames right there. All kinds. Let me take a sip of this and then we'll get into it. Nice. Okay. And we'll record this one too. Here we have Elrond symbol EGLD versus the dollar, of course. And it looks like we are already at all-time highs, and this one's looking for continuation right here after a lovely, very, very lovely, actually, reaccumulation in the formation of an ascending triangle right here, and it's actually confirmed its breakout as of yesterday. So I would say that this one is bullish and looking for continuation, especially as long as you're closing daily dildos above about 283. In this case, we do have a measure move up to, it looks like 390 or so. And I'm curious what the long term looks like on this one, because you are getting a bit of a macro breakout right here. Let's see. Yeah, we're right there. All right, so after that, areas of interest short term would be $400. 400 probably provides a bit of a short term pullback. Then long term, probably looking somewhere around 520 to 600 actually. Now that is very long term. I mean, we're probably talking months down the road, but even short term time frames like a 4-hour, obviously trending right here. This one's moving right now, man. Daily volatility is literally just lifting off the lows. This is a really, really good setup right there. Momentum to the upside as well, man. I like it. I like it all the way around. Hopefully that was helpful. And there you go for Elrond. Elrond, very sensual. What's up, Sudan? Appreciate that, man. But I figure maybe there's a message somewhere. But I guess hopefully you tagged Elsa in some. Skrilla Whale, Skrilla Whale, nice name. Loop Ring. I think it's LRC, not LRC. There we go. Yeah, we looked at this one yesterday. We said, I believe it was a bit of a short-term, yeah, probably a little bit short-term toppy here, and I believe that's what's happening because we did break the downside of whatever yesterday's range was. So that does imply that we're probably playing in this range for the daily, and probably going to be trading sideways here for a little bit of time. This is not bearish, to be very directly clear. It's not bearish. It's just I'm looking for this one to probably test the downside of the range at like 93, 94 cents or so. Probably tries for a bounce there. If you do fail that area, I would be looking for big legs down somewhere around about 75 cents. But how that happens sideways within this range is good. It's bullish long term. Just I think it's done moving, for a while. 4-hour time frame does suggest maybe a little bit of short term upside, maybe back up to like 135. But I don't know if you're concerned with that or not. He did not give any time frames. Mr. D, OMG, spot entry at 1450. Okay, check it out. What is this? What is this godforsaken coin doing nowadays? Oh, you have a phenomenal entry. Holy shit! You basically bought the confirmation of a higher low. Fucking nice, man. Textbook right there. Lovely. Anyways, what is your question? Any potential target point range? I really don't like that terminology just because it is illegal for me to give out financial advice, and it also makes me feel fucking weird too. So please understand that. As far as next sort of areas of interest, maybe a better word to be saying on a continuation drive, probably looking at like 25, maybe even $30 long term. Just depends how long term you are. But yeah, it's pretty good here, man. Volatility increasing, broke the highs already. Momentum up. You know what I'm gonna say. Invalidation is below about 14.5 bucks, man. What's up, Jack the Rabbit? 777. We have another 777. Okay, just one at a time, man. We really have to be cognizant of everyone's time here, man. It's not really like fair for someone to just to just do that, but I suspect you just probably didn't know, man. It's all good. Cool. Anyways, all right. So you're saying, what about mana? Mana's nowhere near 160, so that doesn't make sense to me. Mana, Actually looking really good here still. This is another higher low above 715. I'm looking for a retest of the highs, and I'm looking for this one to continue from there. This is a continuation of trend. Again, and the trend can be your friend. Where'd I be looking for after that? Probably somewhere around your last major breakdown areas at that point. There's not really much stopping you from, I guess, 11.5 to 12 cents or so over time. Just depends what time frame you're looking at, which you did not include time frames, motherfucker. Sorry. Organic FUD says David Schwartz is Satoshi Nakamoto. Sounds legit. All right, I'll take your word for it, sir. Go Auto Sales, aka Josh, says, "Good morning, Krown. I love your channel. Thanks, man. That's awesome. I really appreciate those sentiments, man. That's very nice. Thoughts on spell long-term, daily, and weekly? Okay. This thing. There's not gonna be a weekly on this thing, man. It's been around for. Oh, come on, man. You know better than this, Josh. It's not even been around for a fucking month, man. There's no weekly or daily on this thing. If anything, the daily is toppy. 4 hour barely even fucking populates, man. You know, I guess I play the range here and I say that it is bullish as long as you're above like 2.7 cents. I would be looking for a trending towards new all-time highs above 3.35 cent in this case. This one, you got to look at like a fucking hourly, man. Daily and weekly is not going to work on some. Look, we need years of history, man. We need fucking years of history. There's no daily on something that's been around for a month. I mean, there are strategies with that, but yeah, it's not very useful. But I suspect that you're looking for like long term. I just don't think that there's much of a long term on something like this, or at least I cannot do that. I would say below 2.7 cent. I'm looking for this one to fall apart down to like 2.4. Until then, or 2.4, 2.5 region. Until then, sideways is good for the Bulas, but I don't think it's moving any. I don't think it's doing anything interesting anytime soon. And interesting, meaning back above 3.35. What's up, Timothy Yaneka? Hey, sweet man. Interested in your TA for day traders, 5-15 hourly on Bitcoin. Okay, I usually avoid the very low term timeframes on Bitcoin, but if I'm looking at the 5-minute right here. I mean, the way that I look at it is we have an uptrend. Where's your last higher low? 622. Volatility's on the ground right now, so hopefully this one sits in another higher low somewhere around there. Momentum oscillators are more in a bullish posture, so I'm probably looking for continuation just after a little bit of a short-term move back down around that 62.2 low, I suppose. 15-minute, still a very low-term time frame for me, specifically on Bitcoin. Not really getting much from this. I do see hidden bullish evidence on the last higher low right here, so probably does work its way sideways and up back around the highs of this rally. Very short term. Hourly, I do really like the hourly for Bitcoin actually. This is probably one of my favorite time frames, and this is putting in a bit of a pivot right around 62,000 even. So as long as you're above there, I'm looking for any sort of short term, very low term time frame downs, just put in higher lows and work their way back up towards actually more like 63 or 62.9 to 63. Obviously that's going to bleed into the other higher term time frames, but what I'd feel a lot more confident with saying on the hourly here is that below $62,000, I would be looking for another retest of yesterday's lows, actually. So, you know, take that as you will. What's up, Skate? Skate 90,039. Check out ALGO. So much bullish news, but not a lot of price action. Oh, that's interesting. You mean the news doesn't mean shit for price action? What the fuck? I've been going on Reddit for years now, asking, hey guys, my ALGO token just went up. Is there any news? No, there's not any fucking news. It just goes up because it's in the cryptocurrency landscape, and it ain't that bad apparently because this one's actually still really, really bullish here. Look, news does not make something bullish actually. What makes something bullish is more buyers and sellers, in fact. And I know that's going to come off as an intuitively false statement to a lot of people out there. Believe me, I thought this as well when I first got into markets, but the only thing that matters for price action, the only thing that can ever matter, ever fucking ever, and anyone who disagrees with this is like factually actually wrong. And I say that with force because this is something that I really had a big sticking point with. And I was learning is, well, an imbalance of buyers and sellers at a current price action. Anyways, for this thing right here, look, I still think this is really good, especially as long as you're above 175. There's nothing bearish about this as long as you're above 175. However, I wouldn't be looking for the next major move as long as you're below 210. Still long term looking for, you know, $3.50 plus probably. It is more long term, obviously. Nimbo says, morning, sir. Please reference no, not this goddamn fractal bullshit. For the love of God. What? God damn it. This is not... Okay. No, just look at the index chart, man. The index chart actually has even more history than that. Love you long time. I love you too, Mr. Nimbo, but goddamn, man. Please reference the fractal from 2013 and November 2017, 30 to 50% pullback before moon. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I put out a video actually on this a while ago. But this is like my problem with fractals is because, you know, you'll look at something like this. What your reference is right over here, right? You know, you get like a, it's more like a, well, on a closing basis, it is more like 50%, I guess. On a wick basis, a lot more. My problem with fractals are that, you know, is price action fractal? Yes, it is. Can they be a guide? Yes, just like Elliott wave can be a guide. The problem is that I see a lot across the land, and I've done this as well when I was first kind of entertaining these as an idea, is that you always want to put the fractal on what you want to happen rather than what is actually happening. It's very difficult to invalidate a fractal because you can't really like equate for price action. That's kind of the issues with them. At least in my opinion. But is this basically a fractal over here? You're basically marking off this right here. Actually, literally had a video on this at the time that it happened. This was about a 25.5% move to the downside, and we saw the same thing like over here, which was about a, oops, let me actually get the wicks in this case. About a 26% move to the downside. Very similar. It's like, yeah, it's very similar. It happens around the same time of the year. You know, and then after that, price action. I mean, what is the extrapolation here? It's like, you know, we're gonna do something like this, a 700% move to the upside. I mean, it's definitely sounds nice. I would like that. I would very much like that. But for me, how many fucking times did you see someone put a goddamn fractal in 2018 based off of what happened in 2013, 2014, and 2015, and they're always calling like moon the whole way through? That's kind of my problem with fractals. It's like, look, the chart looks good. You know, the chart is good on all higher term timeframes for right now, as long as, you know, all the conditions that we laid out earlier are still present. Would I just blindly call like a 700% move from there? Not for me to do, man. Not for me to do. Do I see similarities between this price action over here and this price action over here? Yeah, there's actually several. In fact, even more important than that is this, which I can pull up over here. Again, I put out like a really long video on this about a couple months ago when it actually happened. I think it was here, maybe. Yeah, I think it was here. But basically, let me take this off for right now. Yeah, it was here. But basically, you'll notice that this spike low came in at the 1414, and this spike low over here for our current macro low came at the 1272. You actually notice the exact same thing happened over here as well, right? So coming out of this base over here, where do we find the macro low? At the 1272. Where do we find the spike low? Around the 414. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. So that I would trust a lot more, just because, you know, with these sort of indicators, like you have something verifiable that you can call back to, whereas like a fractal is like, it looks like it, so I'm going with that. Yeah, you know, basically it's a long way of saying, yeah, I think what you said has merit, but I'm being a fucking dickhead about it. So sorry, man. I love you, sir. All right. Let's see. John Worm says, can we look at Telcoin on the 4-hour daily? Sure, man. Telcoin. Tel USD on KuCoin. Wow. One had a little rejection right there. Didn't close above the pivot, which is 2.9 cent or so. Would still like to see that, but it's still good here. I wouldn't invalidate bullishness as long as you're above 2 cent. Just looking for some sideways and up outside of this region right here. Yeah, more or less fine. But I wouldn't get excited about this thing as long as you're below 2.9. Above 2.9 on a daily, then yeah, I do look for this one to actually put in a constructive move towards 4 cent and probably continue on over time. I mean, this is good. This is good. It's just, well, it probably does push through there over the next few days, to be honest with you. But I shouldn't say that it's likely to. Yes. Adam Lenber says, great channel. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Very much appreciate that. Thoughts on CPOOL? Okay. CPOOL. And you have like some sort of marketing here thing. This thing's too new, man. It's too new. It's only been around for like a week. 100% staking seems enticing, but it is worthless if it dumps 100%. You know, those I'm guessing you're referring to the APR. That you know, the APR if it's really high like that, that probably implies that there's significant risk with it. Now, I don't know this one, and I'm not like a fucking DeFi person myself, so I'm not a good person to ask about that, but that's my understanding of it. Anyways, if it dumps 100%, it's it's going to be worthless. Yes, as will anything, man. It's very young. I don't think that I don't have any opinion to give you on something like this, man. For what it's worth, if I'm looking at the hourly, which is the only time frame that even makes like a smidgen of sense here, it's actually bullish, but below 52.5 cents bearish. But I'm really not going off on much, man. The problem is it's just way too new. So I want to be very straight shooter. Like when I don't feel that I have like a good opinion or a relevant opinion on someone, this would be that time, man. Healthy amount of I don't know is the proper answer here. And I mean, for what it's worth, the short-term time frames are good. I can't really make too much off of that. If you're specifically asking about will it like fucking rug pull you, well, if it's offering high APRs like that, might be a little bit questionable. But again, I'm not like the best person to ask. Randy Kem says, "Can you check Alice? Alice, huh? USD right here. All right. Oh, very nice. Very, very nice, actually. Very constructive right here. Breaking back above your range highs, it looks like. Yep. Yeah, I think that this is it, actually. Bullish as long as you're above 1340. And I'm looking for this one to work its way sideways and up back up towards your September highs. The full hour, same thing. Like not too much history here, but it's okay. Okay, let's see. What do you have any time frames you want to look at? 4 on daily. So yeah, same thing here. Put in constructive higher lows. 4 hours bullish as long as you're above 14 bucks. It does look like it's trending right now, so actually good. Very, very good. Angel Torres says, "Hola, señor. Hello, señor. I am your amigo. I think. Buenos dias from Mexico. Hey, sweet man. I've actually never made it to Mexico, even though I lived in California, which pretty fucking close to Mexico. Pretty fucking close to Mexico. No question, just saying hi. Fucking nice, man. Thank you for that. That's that was very personable. Thank you, Mr. Angel. I think it's on hell. No, it's on hell. Is that how you say it? I think it is. But cool, man. Thank you for that, and I hope you have a great day as well, man. Matt Rutledge says, "I bought my first crypto coin last Thursday. When Lambo? Just have to wait about 2.5 seconds, and your Lambo will be delivered right to your door, Mr. Matt Rutledge. You have to do nothing. You just have to hodl it for the rest of your life. No problem at all whatsoever. Everyone's getting a goddamn Lambo, and girlfriends too." Nero's Art says, "Hey man, check the 200 moving average versus the EMA cross in the 4 hour. Yeah, this is actually something that I do follow myself too. I never talk about it, but it funnily enough works really fucking well. So I know exactly what you're referencing right now. Let's actually pull it up over here. Here we go. Here's my one with the 200. So what you're referencing, or what our friend is referencing here, is let's get on the 4 hour. Is the white 200 simple. So that's a simple moving average, and the purple is the 200 exponential moving average. Now, the way that you should understand this intuitively is that the exponential is essentially going to be more reactive to current price action. That's how the equation goes. So theoretically, when the exponential crosses to the upside of the simple, that is saying that the very long-term trend on that time frame is actually strengthening against the simple, and vice versa for a downside cross. To be fair, we actually just had a downside cross right here. Each time the moving average, each time the symbol goes above the EMA, we pull back into it, and then okay, so you're saying that we pull back into it. Well, let's verify this. I don't think I've tested exactly your statements right there, but we can verify this, of course. Okay, so when was the last time we saw a cross into this? Okay, so we saw an iteration over here. Yeah, we definitely dumped into it. Yeah, no doubt about that. No doubt about that. What about over here? Cross to, wait. Hold on, I'm trying to think. No. Over here, did we dump into it? Yes. Over here, did we dump into it? Yes. Over here, did we dump into it? We dumped right through it. Not good. Over here, we dumped into it. Yes. Same thing over here. And same thing over here. Yeah. Yeah, it is very consistent. So what would that be suggesting? It would be suggesting that we probably do see another move down towards basically 59 or 59.5. Possible, yes. I mean, definitely within the cards. I'm definitely open-minded towards that. Yeah, I suppose it is relevant. Have we ever seen a time where it did not happen? That'd be a good question to be asking. Let's see. Okay, so we're looking for the white 200 simple cross above the exponential and no test into it. So far, they all have. Yeah. Yeah, the hit rate, incredible here. The question is, does it just test into it, or does it dump through it? I actually am not able to find any where that has not happened. Wow, that is that is definitely something. Okay, we're going down, baby. We're going down. Good analysis on that, man. Thank you for bringing that one up. It could be though that what you're gonna see is Nero's is you've already seen the cross right here, and then it'll be dragged up obviously by price action, and it'll like test the low side of the price action at some time. That would technically still count as a fulfillment of that condition, and it also imply as well that, you know, we obviously don't come down to those levels. Just as an aside, like that could be what happens as well. Mr. Dr. Roxco says ILV daily, weekly, and long term. Okay, well that is long term. ILV is this a? Oh no, it's a crypto. All right, Alluvium, KuCoin maybe. There's no fucking daily or weekly on this thing. There's no daily or weekly on this thing, man. There's no long term on something like this thing. It's only been around for a month and a half, man. It's good for short term, but I'm looking at a 4 hour. The 4 hour has enough information. I'd be bullish as long as you're above about 1200. Looking for probably retest of your prior highs, and if you do start to close below, let's call it 1200 or maybe more like 1185, I would be looking for a bit of a retracement down towards, you know, 1100 or so. But long term, just, I mean, again, man, it's really not much history here. I don't have an opinion on that at all. Organic Flood says, is the XRP all-time charts the most bullish ever? No, not even close. There are many more bullish charts long term that are already making new all-time highs. So I don't know if I'd agree with that, but it does have a nice setup, no doubt. It does have a nice setup, but I'd say it's a laggard, if anything, and that's not a good sign. It is very much not a good sign if you did not retest your 2017 highs in this past prior bull run of 2021. Very bad sign, actually, but not to say that's not going to fall through. Very likely will. Fair enough. What's up, Martin Hunt? Can we take a look at the AVAX BTC pair on the daily and weekly? Okay, again, just one at a time, man. Really appreciate that. We could, if we could just make a social agreement to that, that would be great. Let's see. Let me just throw some of these on right here. Just to, probably should go on my other chart. Okay, so this is AVAX versus Bitcoin. I do like the weekly higher low right here. I think it's going to take some time, however. What time frames are we looking at? Daily and weekly. Yeah, weekly. Probably setting a higher low. Daily is ranging. So something like this most likely is what's going on. Ah, god damn it. Something like this right here. Probably looking at, probably does sell off in the tops of the range, come back down, but long term very bullish as long as you're above about 85, 50 satoshis. I'm just not necessarily convinced that this one's ready to trend just yet, but hey, if you get a weekly closure above 13,300, I guess, yeah, I would be looking for continuation of trend. Until then though, looking for a bit of a range on the daily, and then probably long term continuation. It is good, it's just I don't think it's ready just yet. La Major says, hi, blockchain on NASDAQ. Okay. Oh, okay. So you asked about this last time, and I expected it was a crypto, but it's not. It's this. Very good. Very good on the weekly. Looking for moves back around its prior highs, 5.25 or so. On the weekly, that is. Monthly, you asked for as well. Same thing, just continuation here. Probably makes new all-time highs. You know, there's an easy invalidation on this thing below like 314. But until that gets hit, man, this is a lot more good things here than not. All right, Bitcoin, you gonna do it or not? What about Ethereum? What's Ethereum doing? Yeah, it looks like it might pull through. What's up, Bimmer? Cake is lagging. Could be. I think a lot of those food tokens are lagging. No time frames given though, so I'll just roll with it. I do think it's about to join actually right here, man. Volatility is on the ground and kind of turning the corner. It doesn't necessarily have a higher low just yet, but it's sloppy, man. Probably back up to 21.5. I wouldn't get super excited about it long term as long as you're below about 23 though. Above 23, that's my major area, but it does look like it's just about ready here. Yeah, weeklies. I mean, it's probably going to be a higher low right here. But yeah, it is certainly lagging. Hey, what's up, Bullfrog Fire? Thanks, man. Less welder, more professor. All right, sweet. The charts are too hot right now. Hey, man, sweet. Awesome. Actually, we already looked at Ethereum, but if you're just specifically asking about the weekly and monthly, monthly is bullish as long as you're especially closing above, 44.50 now, looking for long-term macro continuation. Targets in mind for a short-term move would be about 54.50 relative to the monthly, obviously. Long-term, I'd be looking at 10,000 plus, but that's, you know, probably like months and months away, I'd expect. Weekly, same thing, just a more Yeah, just generally good here. Don't have anything bad to say about this as long as you're closing weekly dildos above 39.50. Stan, what's up, man? FLOKI Inu. Oh boy, doggy derp coin. All right, token FLOKI. Really new as well here, man. Really new. But we need to complete the Mimi trilogy. All right, fair enough. This thing's a little bit too new to do on anything like other than an hourly, in my opinion. But you do actually have an hourly, well, good setup here, I guess. Basically looking at some between about 27,500 versus 36 to the upside. And I do think that this one will rally up short term towards 33,350, very likely, and probably even does test the top side of the range. But I wouldn't be looking for new highs until you close above that region. And then, I mean, is there like targets to give after that? I don't think so, man. But I am biased towards the upside here. Multiple drives of hidden bullish reversions come off the lows. I would only really get short term looking for downside below this level right here, and I'd just target a move towards 22,350 or so. Other than that, it's way too new to really give it like a complete look. Even a 4 hours like shaky here, in my opinion. So you know, even what I said on the hour is like that can easily be negated very quickly. Let's see. Luke Green says, hey Krown, opinion on FET USD for our daily, weekly. Looking at this for a good swing higher. Okay. Let's see if the charts are looking like that too. So you're looking at like a weekly, it sounds like. No, you're looking at a 4 on daily is what you're asking for. Yeah, it's very constructive right here. Looks like another weekly higher low. In fact, this one pretty strong. Very good on the daily. Yeah, oh yeah. Just want to see a daily closure above about 90 cents, and then I'd be looking for moves towards your prior highs and beyond. I mean, you have the setup right here. Volatility come off the floor, already putting your higher lows, momentum up. Want to see it clear above that region, and then good. Very good. I imagine the 4 hour same thing. 4 hour just putting a higher low right here, 82.5 cent invalidation for short term. Wait. One more quick one if you have the time. Yeah, Martin Hood, but we actually already did KDA, and I think that's about what I was saying on it. It's like it does look a bit toppy. Floppy toppy, yeah. I mean, here's the thing. It's like you don't want to be the first one to call a top here, but I'd say it's really fucking close, man. If not already there. I'd like to see it actually come down below like $10 first, but yeah, I do think it's a lot closer to a top than not. Echo Zien says, Krown, I want to YOLO my life savings into the high stakes Beanie Babies market, but my girlfriend says CRO is better play. You can check out the daily and weekly so I can humor her. Actually, CRO, last we looked at it, was pretty fucking good, in fact. See it? Show it to me. Yeah, it's real. It's real now. All right. Here we have crypto.com. The, like, I don't know what it is, but it's like a crypto card, basically, from what I understand. And what do we have right here? We have a breakout, and I believe we spoke about this like a week ago here, and all you need to know is this right here. 24 cents was the breakout trend line and continuation above there. Do we have a measure move to be made off of this? I don't know about that, but we do have some areas of interest to plot based off of the extensions, of which I would be looking for a general continuation towards about 33.5 to 34 cents, and very likely a short-term pullback there, or short medium-term pullback right there. Long-term is the macro breakout real. It would certainly appear so. I mean, this is a very constructive chart with just higher highs and higher lows the whole way through. You know, long-term, maybe months down the road after a bit of a consolidation after that, probably looking at like 60 to 70 cents or so. But that's very long-term, you know. 4 hours trending right now. I don't have any invalidation on this one as long as you're above especially 22 or 23 cents, even on a 4 hour closure in this case. Momentum oscillators are saying what? Hidden bullish divergence at the highs. Momentum still the upside. It's very aggressive right here, but I think it's got one more drive to the upside. It probably fulfills that target at like 33.5 to 34 cents and then pulls back a bit and sets up a bit more lower. But daily still good here. Daily hidden bullish divergence of that last low. Daily jewel still upside curvature. I want to see that. I'm gonna guess that the BBWP is gonna get to 100 percentile a few bars in a row before it actually does put in a high, but very good move right there, and very likely does get long-term continuation. So hopefully that's helpful for crypto.com. Green Machine, appreciate that, man, but no message. Well, thank you. Oh, he does have a message. Okay. Oh, there, I see it. Just a thanks for all the fishies. Sweet. Thanks, man. Wow. Thank you, man. Yuri K says, hey, Krown. Thank you. Could we check out VET? We already got VET, so we'll look at VTHO. And we do humbly request that just one at a time, man. One at a time. Got to be cognizant of time here, but you know, it's fine here, man. It's the same setup all the way around. BBWP on the ground, already putting some higher lows right here. Probably looking for short-term moves back up towards 137, 14 or so. I'd get very excited for the long term with a weekly closure above 1550 and be looking for moves around your prior highs after that. Invalidation in this case below, 9.5 or so. Let's see. Farrell wants to look at SQUID versus Bitcoin on a daily, hoping for a bounce. Okay. SQUID. Oops. SQUID versus BTC. There is no SQUID versus BTC. We got a SQUID versus BNB. We got a rug pull, baby. I think you did get a bounce right here. It actually looks like it will bounce. Oh, dear Lord. You got a fucking rug pull. Jesus Christ, man. The day is not complete without a rug pull chart, is it? Wow. That is... Oh my God. Oh my fucking God. Think of all the bullish bungholes impaled on this nasty wick right there. Pour one out for the dead soldiers, man. It's been banned from the moon, I think. Fucking hell, man. What the hell? What the actual hell? Joe Wells says, good morning, sir. What's up, man? Super Farm 1-4 and daily. Yeah. I think this one had a pretty nice move the other day. Oh, yeah. No more super chats. Oh, wow. We're actually already at 2 hours. Jesus Christ. Let's see. Super Farm still going here, man. Oh, we got our breakout from the other day. We got our breakout. I'm still looking at around 180 before the next sort of short-term, maybe medium-term pullback. Long-term, I still think this one works its way up to 2.25 and then $3. Really fucking constructive right here. It's a DeFi or I think it's both DeFi and then also a gaming token as well. So it's like hitting all the angles of what the market wants right now. So yeah, man, this is really, really good. Before we had invalidation below like 85 cents, I'd move that up now to about $1 even. Very fucking good here though. Very fucking good. It was taking over the world, man. I warned you. I did warn you. Sean Odisha, welcome to the Caveman, and pleasure to have you here, man. David M says, hey, Krown, hope without the Reddit articles. it is a little bit different now, but nice. It's nice to be able to like see things in their true form again, not with like this massive tint. Nimiq, okay, versus Bitcoin specifically on the daily and weekly. Daily is very bizarre chart right there. Weekly, same thing, but it does look to me like it is going to get a continuation of the bounce here. Probably back up to your April highs in this case at around 2,000 to 2,100 satoshis. If you're talking about the weekly, there is an invalidation very easily put below 20, sorry, not 20, but 12, what is it, 1250 satoshis on a weekly closure. That'd be very bad. Until that happens, probably does work its way through and probably does end up being fine. Yeah, daily's fine right here, man. This is a reversal formation. It's good. Good, sir. Cool. Jacob mistake. We actually just did tell. I believe it was pretty damn good. So can probably just scroll back like 10 minutes or so. Good there. Mona Lisa. Yeah, we did sand as well. I believe I recorded that one. I believe we were just looking for a bit of a short-term. Was it a short-term bounce and then continuation of the downside? I'm generally looking for a move down to like 220 or so after maybe another short-term bounce. Will says, hey, Krown, what's up, man? Sell, CEL, okay. Daily, 4 hour, okay. CEL. Okay. Oops. Maybe, there we go. Okay, Celsius. Whoa, ugly, fucking ugly, man. Really ugly. What the hell? I was not expecting that. Like, everyone gets a fucking free ride to the upside right now, and this one goes down! Real bad. Daily and 4 hour. This is Finex, but this is the only one that actually has history here. This is fucking ugly, man. Real fucking ugly. Is it going to try for another bounce here, though? I wouldn't even say that the bounce gets any continuation as long as you're below 447. All bounces fail. Above 447, I look for a nice move up to maybe $5. But until then, I'm looking sideways and down. And this one's not in a blue sky breakout. It's in a black hole breakdown right now. It's fucking ugly. Really bad. What's Bitcoin doing? What are you doing, Bitcoin? Remain. Cool. What's up, Dr. Colossus? Yeah, man, I'd actually like to do a live stream with Mitch Ray, but probably time is going to be difficult there. I really like him, though. I really like Mitch Ray as a person, man. He seems like a very solid guy, although we've only spoken like personally just a couple times. Just kind of like via through the interwebs, I guess. Anyways, you're looking at EWT 4 hour and hourly. Okay. Right. KuCoin maybe? Altcoin hourly and 4 hour. Hourly's fine right here, I guess. 4 hour, same thing. BBWP on the floor, set in a higher low right here. I'm probably looking for another retest of your range highs at minimum $11. Above $11, I expand those targets to like 11.75 or so. There is an invalidation very easily below about $10. That would be bad. Below 10 bad. Probably looking towards $9 after that. Hopefully that's helpful, sir. What's up, Hex Outlaw? Triple D. Okay, so this is a 3D printing thingy. Yeah, I know this one. And you're looking at a what? At a week. Okay, daily and weekly. Got it. Okay, I see. Oh, I kept off the alerts the whole time this stream. By the way, please do not send in any more chats, fellas. We'll be ending this stream very, very soon here. God damn it. God damn it, man. Just when you warn everyone. It's all good though. I do appreciate it, but again, we do have to be rather strict with this rule because otherwise it just gets a bit out of hand. I hope that that's understood. Anyways, Triple D, good long term, it looks like to me. Yeah, very good long term. I like this higher low right here, and I'll be looking for this one to work its way back up towards 40.5 bucks. And above there on a weekly, I'd be looking at this one as ready to break out. Hitting bullish over on last weekly low, and well, in this case, no, we're not at new optimize, but probably looking for big moves up towards your September 2014 highs after that. Until then, just sideways when this range was short term, sideways and up, most likely implied. It is good. It is good. It's just, probably going to take some time, man. Gordon Fitch says, good day, sir. Ren USD 4 hour daily, please. Elsa rules. What? The fuck did I just hear? Aha! I miss the old days of dishes clanging. No. Stop that nonsense. Stop that nonsense. Ren USD 4 hour. Okay. All right. 4 hour right here. Retesting the range lows, which I believe we had from yesterday's video. Not looking too strong off those range lows, I would say. What does the daily look like? I'd still give it a chance here, though, I guess. I guess I'd stick with what I said yesterday. I'm not getting bearish on this as long as you're above 92 cents on a daily. Below there, I do look for bigger moves down, probably somewhere below 80 cents. In this case, I'd still give it a chance right here, man. I think it's just kind of sloppy and would like to see it reclaim the median of the range back above about $1.04. If that can happen, I'd be looking for maybe another retest of the tops of the range, but really not anything exciting as long as you're below 118 for the long term here. Above 118, yeah, send this one probably around pro-optimize and new optimize in this case, but for now, I think at best sideways, and at worst actually breaks that region. Sweet. What's up, Sean? Hey, man. Man, it's it's all good. It's really all good, but well, I'll just leave it at that, man. It's all good, and I appreciate that, man. Love the energy. Sweet. Can you please take a crack at MATIC? Yes, I can do a little bit of cracking at MATIC right now. We haven't looked at that one today, and it's usually a very popular one, and it should be popular as well because this one's good. It's very, very good here. Should I record this? Let me just check how many videos I have for today because might be getting overloaded. You're on the holy fuck. What? Oh my god, we have so many fucking videos for today. It's ridiculous. We'll not be recording this one. Still very good, man. And I look at the long-term breakout as valid and still having a target towards about $3, especially as long as this thing's closing daily deltas above 180. Below 180, yeah, I look for a bit of a correction down to 155, maybe 160. It'd still actually be long-term bullish on that, but just short-term, medium-term corrective. 4 hour. Again, sideways within this range is still good. I believe we had the exact range from yesterday and the day prior. Probably looking at something like this now. I'd still be using this as kind of like a pivot, but overall, sideways within this region is long-term good. It's just, is this one ready to move like today? I don't know necessarily about that. And I'd get very excited for like the next sort of trending move on the daily back up about 211.5. But overall, it's still very, very good. Still very, very good. Weekly is excellent. As far as I'm concerned, I don't have any major issues with this one as long as you're above the invalidation point. Even then, it's one of the more healthy ones long term. Actually, I really like how it it rallies up, holds its lows, and powerful, man, fucking powerful. Super Googly Lee says, I agree as a chart analyst, almost nothing else matters, but one of my best trades this year was buying Mana and Sand blindly when Facebook changed its name without even looking at the charts. Yeah, I mean, there is that sort of thing as well, but what caused it, right? What caused it was, well, you know what you know where I'm gonna go with that one. But even then, the setup on Mana was there, right? It's not like Mana had a bad chart, so you could argue that both ways are kind of the same way of getting at it. It's just I always like to go with the one that's more tangible, right? But yeah, fair enough. You know, good point. Good point. What's up, Scott Brooks? New subscriber here. Hey, well, welcome, man. Welcome to the cave, sir. Would you look at strong? Okay. All right. Strong. In the name, strong. Looks weak, actually, to be honest with you, man. Looks toppy. Short-term bouncy. Long-term probably toppy. Actually, now that I look at the 4 hour, I don't know if this one's this one's necessarily bouncy short-term as well. I am inclined to say it's likely to bounce here than not. Maybe one more drive down to 750 or 760 and then tries for a bounce and then plays out a sideways range for a while. But I do think that this one is actually topped out for a while. Range between 1,000 and 750 does nothing for me. Above 1,000, I'm bullish again for new highs. Below 750, I am looking for a much deeper correction. This is going to not just look like it's done for a while. It's going to look like a blow off and done for a very long time after that. Meaning like big moves down towards 500 over time and probably even lower than that over time. But for right now, you know, more close to a bounce than not. Over the next couple of weeks, if this thing fails to get back above 1,000, I probably do look for it to break down further coming into December or so. Thomas Cottrell says, hope you're doing well, man. Thank you. Check out True, super small market cap currently. All right. Small market cap is concerning, but I want to see history is what I want to see. This one, well, it's not great, but at least has like a year. It's actually good right here. At least it's constructive out of this last little base. Just don't want to see below about 54 cents on a daily closure. As long as that condition's not met, then I do look for this one to basically trade sideways and up out of here. And this is kind of a reaccumulation after, well, a pretty nice move actually out in August, it looks like. So, you know, above about, what is this, 68.5, good. Basically implying moves back up around probably like your prior highs, like 90 cents to $1, and maybe continuation from there. Short-term time frames, more or less sideways here. Probably a little bit of a short-term downside move, maybe to like 59 cents or so. But I don't know if you're concerned with that or not, as there are no time frames given, sir. Tim Roberts says, "Thanks, man. Music intro walks as well. Fuck yeah, man. I'm glad that you enjoy some good old metal right there. Check out MATIC. Yep, we got that. We got that just a second ago, so I think we're good there." Soltis says, "How's your laser eyes?" Good, man. I think they're just about there. I think I'm gonna go to the sauna today too, which I'm really excited about, man. I love the sauna. Theta, very very good right here. Very good on the 4 hour. Short term, very likely moving back up towards probably $9 or so, and I get very excited with the daily closure above about 9.25, looking for moves back up to the 1414 around your May 21st. Early May highs. Invalidation on daily bullishness would be below about $7 on a closure, but for right now, sideways and up looks like the name of the game. This is good. 4 hours trending, dailies trending, all time frames looking good. And thank you for that, Adam. Oh, good, man. All fucking good, man. Sweet. West Coast LA says Kyber Network, please. Okay, so this is ANC, I think. Yeah, I remember this one from 2017. What time frames are you looking at? Daily and weekly. Well, looks like I charted this one out a while ago. It looks like it's still working too, but this is in my way. Okay, so what do? We sold off on the top side of the range. That's not problematic. What would be problematic and invalidate bullishness here would be a daily closure below about 180. I really don't want to see below there on a daily closure again. Until then, 4 hour. Looks to me like it's probably fine. We're looking at something like this. Like to see back above about 208.5 for another retest of the tops of the range, but long term can't really get too excited about it as long as you're below these spike highs right here, like 240 to 250. Above there, things look really, really good. And for what it's worth, I mean, this is a reaccumulation right here, and long term, I guess it's okay. Just be aware of the invalidation, because if that does get hit, it's not going to be good. Cool. Matt Syme says, hey, what's up, man? Strong, we just got that one earlier. I think still toppy, short term bouncy, long term toppy. Levi Wittenberg says, Nano. Oh, you want to look at the nanos, man. Nanos. These are perfect for paying for your chicken tendies. It's probably fine right here, man. I'm always skeptical about a shitcoin that hasn't taken out its 2017 highs. It's just weak long term compared to most other things in this market. You know, do you look at this as a reversal on the daily? Probably yes, as long as you're above 545 on a daily closure. Probably works its way back sideways and up towards $8 or so. But hard to get excited about it long term as long as you're below specifically 805. Above 805, I look for a retest of your prior highs from May, probably higher over time, but you know, gonna need a strong broad market for this thing to actually do some nice. Aaron Depp, we actually looked at super earlier. It's looking really, really good. Long term, still looking probably like I think next set of areas of interest were like 190 and then 2.5 and then $3, something like that. I'm a citizen of Neo Tokyo and bet extremely heavy on Elio. Sweet, yeah, man, and on Alex Becker, yeah. Sweet, thanks, man. Sweet, awesome. Echo ZN says my girlfriend was pretty upset about the Beanie Babies bastard. Turns out they're not environmentally friendly. Fuck. Is your girlfriend named Greta Thunberg? She woke. 1, 2, quadruple 4. So you're looking at this energy fuel. Oh, you want the fuels, the fossil fuels. Fucking bullish, man. I'm looking for a short-term continuation over the next week or two towards like just under $12. This is a change of behavior as far as the volume signature goes. This is like big time, man. Fucking big time. Monthly looks like a reversal as well, man. I think this one probably trades much higher than that over time, but probably a bit of a pullback after that like $12 area or so, and then maybe next up like over the next year or two, somewhere around $20. That's a reversal right there. That looks really good. Invalidations on bullishness below about $7 for what it's worth. Elsa has the laughter. Elsa has the laughter that reminds me of succulent elven babies playing harps. I've had those thoughts too as well, sir. Mr. Gordon Finch. And thank you for that, Crypto Slave. All right, fellas, I think we're gonna end it right there. Just go take a little quick look on Bitcoin right here. Really need to see Bitcoin actually hold above this short-term pivot at about 62 actually. Otherwise, I guess I'd be looking for another move towards yesterday's low. Not to say that that's going to break the lows, but we would lose our higher low structure if that does happen. So that would be bad. That would be bad, of course. So again, be aware of the pivots right here. $61,000 your next sort of higher low if you are bullish. Still want to see about 63,700 to break to the upside to get excited for another continuation move. Below 61, probably looking at moves back below $60,000 at that point. So hopefully this stream was in some way valuable to your life. If not, I apologize. I apologize profusely because well, it's been a fun time for me at least. And with that said, I do want to wish you a nice and healthy and humbly happy day. And yeah, that's it for this week, man. We'll be back on next week. I do have an interview with Mr. Fibbo Swanee coming out tomorrow on Saturday. Really cool guy. And yeah, I'll probably do like a long-term analysis over the weekend as well, as there's some very interesting things that I've been looking at recently. So with that said, take care and hopefully see you very, very soon.
Christmas dildos moving up and down. They'll call him Crypto Krown. You've got to TA to be free. Learn how to surf in the deep red sea. Trend lines, average values, RSI. Lift ocean coins to the sky. From Mr. Buter into XRP. Oh, bear Jesus, set us free. Crypto what? Crypto Krown. Drifting Lambos through your town. Hodlers better buckle down. Cause it's the final crypto what? Crypto Krown. Drifting Lambos through your town. Hodlers better buckle down. Cause it's the final countdown. The one who's open has the mastermind. Dive into Crypto Cave and let's go for a ride. The whales are coming very soon, very soon. Up to the moon in the fucking asshole. Crypto what? Crypto Krown. Drifting Lambos through your town. Hodlers better buckle down. Cause it's the final crypto what? Crypto Krown. Drifting Lambos through your town. Hodlers better buckle down, 'cause it's the find of a crypto what? Crypto crown, drifting Lambos through your town. Hodlers